Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Drafts Baseball's live commentary of Major League Baseball. Today's game is going to feature the Washington Nationals versus the Atlanta Braves. The commentary and views are our opinions and are not affiliated with Major League Baseball, the MLB PA, or their sponsors. We are providing live reports on the game being played and hope that English-speaking audiences around the globe can enjoy the game on YouTube and Twitch along with us. We're going to give you today's starting lineups, and first of all, we'll start with the visitors from the Washington area, the Washington Nationals. They lost last night to the Braves 16-4, and they're looking to rebound from last night's deficit. So the lineup that's rolling out today is going to be leading off, playing second base wearing number 1, Cesar Hernandez. Batting second in right field wearing number 22 is Juan Soto. Batting third and doing the designated hitting wearing number 23 is Nelson Cruz. In the cleanup spot, playing first base wearing number 19 is Josh Bell. Batting fifth and playing third base wearing number 7 is Maikel Franco. Batting sixth and playing in left field wearing number 28 is Lane Thomas. Batting seventh and playing shortstop wearing number 3 is Alcides Escobar. Batting eighth and doing the catching wearing number 15 is Riley Adams. And batting ninth wearing number 16 and playing in center field is Victor Robles. And they are going to be facing Max Fried, who takes to the hill. Of course, Fried was a star in the World Series last year for the Atlanta Braves, and he is one of the players that we would say has to be disappointed that they've taken out the DH. Fried was one of the better hitters last year for a pitcher, so he is going to lose that opportunity to swing regularly. So he, in his first start, he got roughed up a little bit in 5 2/3 innings. He allowed 8 hits, 5 runs, all of which were earned, walking 1 and striking out 5. So he gets the nod today for the Atlanta Braves. And now the lineup for the home team for the Atlanta Braves, leading off and playing second base wearing number 1 is Ozzie Albies. Batting second and playing first base wearing number 28 is Matt Olson. Batting third at third base wearing number 27 is Austin Riley. In the cleanup spot in left field wearing number 20 is Marcell Ozuna. Wearing number 8 and getting the start in right field is Eddie Rosario. Adam Duvall will bat sixth, and he will play in center field. He's wearing number 14. Batting seventh and playing shortstop wearing number 7 is Dansby Swanson. Batting eighth and doing the designated hitting wearing number 25 is Alex Dickerson. And batting ninth and doing the catching today is Manny Pina. And they are going to be facing Josiah Gray. Gray, of course, was acquired by the Nationals last year as part of the trade for Max Scherzer. He's 0-1 on the season. He's pitched in 4 innings. He's allowed 8 hits, 4 runs, all of which are earned. He's walked 2 and struck out 5. And he had an ERA of 9 so far this season after that first start. So those are your starting lineups. This game is about to begin in just a couple of minutes. And for those of you who are listening live or on delay, we appreciate everybody that comes in and listens. We'll be back in just a couple moments after these tunes with the call of all the action. We're glad you could be here. Back, everybody. This one is just about ready to get underway as Max Fried is heading out to the mound. And this one will be rock and roll. It'll be Hernandez, Soto, and Cruz to get things going for the Nationals against the starter, Max Fried. Fried is getting his tune-up tosses in. Not a full house in Atlanta for the matinee affair today, but there is a decent crowd on hand. Lots of space for people to move around and to be able to get their seats. The temperature is 70 degrees Fahrenheit. It is partly cloudy, and it is beautiful for baseball. The wind is blowing in at 8 miles an hour from right field, and so that is going to be affecting the left-handed batters. So those are the stats as Fried, the lefty, gets going. Last year, he was 14-7 in 28 starts. He had a 3.04 ERA, and he performed admirably in the playoffs, especially in the World Series. So Hernandez, Soto, and Cruz to get things going for the Nats. Nationals, we hate to say that they're rebuilding. In some ways, they are competing and retooling, but they do have some prospects and help on the way, but are still a year or two away. Carter Kieboom, who is their shortstop, projected shortstop this year, is out for a significant period of time as he has been placed on the 60-day DL. So that is going to be the key here for the Nats, is to be able to stay healthy and have some of their younger prospects in the next couple of years come up. But for now, they are not projected to do a lot of damage in the National League East, as these are a battle of the two teams that will be facing each other, both National League East, of course, teams. And so we have Steve Rademacher in the house today. Steve, welcome. It might be you and me for a bit here. So leading off, it is going to be Cesar Hernandez. For Hernandez on the season, he's batting .240, and he's got no homers and no RBIs. And here comes the first pitch of the ball game. It's a fastball from Fried, swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. Cesar Hernandez playing with the Washington Nationals. He began his big league career with the Philadelphia Phillies. He's bounced around a little bit. There was a fastball swung on and grounded foul. That's past the third base bag, and the count goes to 0-2. He was with the Phillies. Then he bounced over to the Cleveland Indians for a couple of years, who are now the Guardians, of course. And then he was with the White Sox for a spell last year. Now he has found home with the Washington Nationals. He's probably on the back end of his career, as he's 32 years old. We have time called here as one of the bullpen doors has blown open. So they'll get that fixed, and now we'll be ready to return to the action. So no balls and 2 strikes to Hernandez. Fried gets the sign from his catcher, Pina, and he's ready to go to work. He rocks into the motion and kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded up the middle, and it's going to get past the diving Ozzie Albies into center field. And Cesar Hernandez is going to be aboard with a base hit single. One would like to think that Max Fried would want that back. That was much too good a pitch at 0-2, right down the middle. And Hernandez made him pay as he grounded the ball right past the pitcher into center field. So Hernandez is aboard with a leadoff single that brings up one of the most dangerous hitters in all of baseball. Juan Soto steps to the plate. Soto in the early season is hitting .286. He's got a couple of homers and a couple of RBIs. That's from the left side against the lefty Fried. And ready to go to work is Fried, and he is a fastball swung on. This ball is driven into deep right field. It's over the head of Rosario. It's up against the wall. Digging for 3 is Hernandez, and he is going to get in there safely. And it looks like it's just going to be a long single for Juan Soto. I'd like to see that on the replay again. That ball was hit right over the head and up against the wall. Why did Soto only make it to first base? I don't know. We'll get a chance to see some of the replay here, maybe. But he should be standing on second. That ball was over the head of Rosario and right up on one hop against the wall. They've got runners on the corners. That is going to bring up the designated hitter, Nelson Cruz. For Cruz on the season, he's batting .200. He's got a homer and 3 runs batted in. Fried gets the sign from his catcher, Pina, and he's ready to go to work. He checks the runner at first. He kicks and delivers. It's a changeup, swung on and missed. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Cruz. All 3 of the Nationals hitters have jumped on the first pitch that Fried has delivered. They have come out swinging, literally. So that's something to keep an eye on. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. And there's a fastball that gets away from Fried. It's all the way to the backstop. It hits the brick wall and comes straight back. Advancing to second will be Soto, but Hernandez had to hold at third base because that thing came back in a hurry right back toward home plate. So they were very, very fortunate. It hit the advertising sign to the first base side of home plate, rocketed back, and able to pick it up was the catcher Pina. That is going to keep Hernandez at third. So Soto is now the runner at second. The runner at third is Hernandez. And Fried's ready to deliver to Cruz. And it's a fastball swung on and fouled away. That's going to make the count 1-2 strikes. It looked like that the catcher Pina and the pitcher Fried were a little bit crossed up. That was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. I don't know if Pina was expecting that pitch. Just the way that he reacted behind, and he can get himself hurt if they're definitely crossed up on that. So 1-2 strikes. Fried gets the sign from the catcher Pina. He comes set at the belt. He looks the runner at second, and now he steps off the rubber, and there is confusion here. He's calling for his catcher Pina to come out. So he wants to talk and go over the signs here, one would think, with the runner on second base. Of course, the last pitch, there was a bit of a cross-up, so they want to make sure that they're on the same page using the same sequences. So 1-2 strike to Nelson Cruz. Cruz is, of course, a long-time Major League vet. He's been with a number of big league teams. He began his big league career back with the Milwaukee Brewers back in 2005. Then he went to the Texas Rangers, Baltimore, Seattle, Minnesota, and others. And there's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. It's going to be grounded over to the third base dugout, and the count remains at 1-2. Of course, in the prime of his career, he had hit over 40 home runs on 4 different occasions. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball down. A good stop by Pina. The ball squirts away over to the first base side, but everything is under control. The count now is 2-2. The one thing we could say about Max Fried so far is he's not particularly sharp. And that is one of his staples, is his control and his ability to hit spots. But he's come out today and he's not been able to get command of his pitches yet. So here's the 2-2. Fried ready to deliver. He kicks and fires, and there's a fastball swung on and missed. And Nelson Cruz is retired for the first out of the inning. So 1 up, and that is 1 in the books. And that's going to bring up Josh Bell, the first baseman. For Josh Bell, he's batting .318 on the season. He's got a couple of homers and 5 RBIs. One would think in this particular instance that Fried will be working delicately to Bell here. They do have an open base at first. I'm sure they're going to pitch to him, but are they going to give him anything good to hit? For Nationals fans, it's good to see that Bell is off to a good start this year by hitting .318. He really struggled last season in his first year with the Nats. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count is 1-0. Some people might attribute that because he was playing some in the outfield and in different positions. They still had Ryan Zimmerman with the club last year, and he was taking up the opportunity at first base, and now Bell is in his more natural position back at first. So he gets a chance now to play every day in a Nats uniform, and there's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded to short. It's fielded by Swanson. He throws across the diamond. That's going to retire Bell on a ground out 6-3, but he's going to pick up an RBI. He is the second out. The runner Soto advances the third. The ball was hit to the shortstop, but it was to the left side of the base runners, so everybody had advanced. The shortstop Swanson was playing back and would have had no shot at the runner at the plate. So the Nationals get on the board early here with a 1-0 lead in the top of the first inning. It's going to bring up Maikel Franco with 2 away and Soto standing on third. Fried ready to go back to work here. He gets the sign from his catcher Pina, and he's ready to deliver it. Fires a fastball, and this ball is drilled into center field. Another first pitch swing. And that it squirts and gets away from the center fielder Duvall, and cruising into second base with some good aggressive base running is Maikel Franco. And he is going to be aboard with a single. It's more than likely going to be an error on the center fielder. We're going to have to check that again and make sure that that is the case. We'll get the official scoring for you in just a moment, but that ball was blistered right into center field. Duvall comes over on it, and the next thing you know, it takes a weird hop, hits him off the heel of the glove, squirts away. That's definitely going to be an error on the center fielder. I don't care what the score keeper will say. Single and an error, 8. So that's going to bring up the left fielder Lane Thomas. For Thomas, he is batting 188 on the season, and he swings and misses at the first pitch. So there is a theme here. They are coming up and attacking Max Fried first time through the order. So 2-0, the Nationals have jumped out in front. Here's the pitch from Fried. It is swung on. It is lifted into shallow right field. Moving back on it is the second baseman, Albies. Coming in is Rosario, and it's going to be Albies with an over-the-shoulder catch to end the inning here, and it is a couple of runs for the Nats in their half of the first. There were 2 runs in the inning. There were 3 hits. There was no error, 1 error, and 1 runner left aboard. Through a half inning, it is the Washington Nationals 2, the Atlanta Braves nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with the call. The bottom of the first inning after this. We're glad you guys could stop by and tune in today. Whether you're listening live or on delay, we are always appreciative that everybody is here listening into our streams. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back in just a moment. Be sure to check out our friend Steve Rademacher. He's a supporter of our channel, and we like to support him. Here is Steve, and we'll be back for the call of the game after this.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher, and if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day, and there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddy.
Thanks again, Steve. We appreciate your support of the channel, and in turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher. After the game, be sure to check his channel out. He's got all kinds of crazy and wacky things, but that's exactly what Steve is, crazy and wacky. So now that's going to bring up the top of the order. It's going to be Ozzie Albies, followed by Matt Olson and Austin Riley for the Braves, as they find themselves in a 2-0 deficit here in the bottom of the first inning. And the first pitch from Josiah Gray is a 94-mile-an-hour fastball that misses outside, and the count is quickly 1-0. Albies on the short season is hitting .238. He's got a homer and 5 RBIs. He bats from the left side against the right-handed throwing Gray, and here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. With Albies batting from the left side, they have a shift on to the Nationals. They moved the third baseman Franco into the rover spot. As we see, some teams will do that. They bring the third baseman all the way around. And some teams will just put the third baseman in the shortstop position, and that's a question that I've continually asked, is why that might be. And there's a fastball that's swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-2. If the shortstop is your best athlete and best player, why are you taking him out of that natural position and putting him into right field? Some teams choose to do it. Some teams choose not to do it. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Josiah Gray really relies heavily on his 4-seam fastball. He sits in the mid-90s. He's also got a slider, a curve, and a change. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted through the shift into right field. It is fielded by Soto, and he gets it back in. So just like that, the Atlanta Braves have a runner on first with nobody out. That's going to bring up the hot-hitting Matt Olson. Matt Olson definitely has made a huge start to his career in Atlanta. There's nothing like replacing a Atlanta legend in Freddie Freeman, because that's kind of where Freeman's status was heading. He's just walked in. He's batting .474. He's got a home run and an RBI. He bats from the left side with a slightly open stance. And here comes the first pitch. It is a breaking ball that catches the lower part of the plate. Let's take it for a call and strike. The count's 0-1. That's DJ Rayburn doing the balls and strikes behind the plate. Mark Carlson is the umpire at first. Angel Hernandez is holding down second base, and Jim Wolf is the umpire at third. It is a veteran crew today. So here comes the 0-1 pitch, and instead Gray fires over to first, and diving back in time is the base runner Albies. So no balls and one strike to Olson. Albies establishes his lead. It's not a huge lead. He doesn't get his foot all the way up to the cutout, but we do have to keep an eye on him because he does like to run. And again, they throw over to first, and again, diving back is Albies. Albies on the season this year does not have a stolen base to his name, and nor do anyone in the Atlanta Braves lineup. There is no stolen bases yet. With the hitter Olson at the plate, they have still employed the shift. There are still three fielders to the right side of the infield. And there is a changeup that misses up and away, and the count goes even at 1-1. This is my first extended look at Josiah Gray, and I can see why the Nationals would have demanded a quality talent like this in return for Scherzer. Of course, they got Kybert Ruiz as well. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. There goes Albies. There's a fastball. It's outside, and down to second goes Albies. They apply the tag, and out at second is Albies, says the umpire Angel Hernandez, as he makes the call. So we're going to get the look at that one on the replay. I thought Albies had a good jump, but he seemed to slow down before he got to the base. He took a look. It was a good throw by the catcher today, who is Riley Adams. The tag was a little bit high, but Angel Hernandez in place to make it. As we get the replay, it's the right call by Hernandez. And that's going to be caught stealing 2-6 for the first out. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes on Matt Olson. Angel Hernandez gets a lot of criticism for his balls and strikes and being much maligned behind the plate and outspoken. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is 3-2. But his base work is generally not that bad, and they say that his rule knowledge is pretty solid. That's the word on the street. But certainly the balls and the strikes, and certainly situational things from behind the plate, it presents a bit more of a challenge for a lot of the big league clubs. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Olson. Austin Riley is waiting his turn on deck. Here comes the payoff pitch from Gray. And it is a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded softly over to second. It's fielded by Escobar, and for Hernandez, and he throws to first. And that is going to retire Olson on a ground out 4-3. I have to hesitate sometimes because of the shift and where the players are constantly moving. With Escobar on that side sometimes, or with Franco on that side sometimes, it makes a few changes. So that's going to bring up Austin Riley to the plate with 2 out. He's batting at .286 on the young season. He's got a homer and 4 RBIs. And Gray ready to go to work. He kicks and delivers. It's a changeup taken on the inside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Austin Riley. Riley digs himself in. Gray gets the sign from his catcher. He's ready to go to work, and there is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And the count is now 0-2 to Riley. Gray gets the sign from his catcher, Riley, and he's ready to go. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball down. It's a good stop by Riley, and he has to block the ball and then tag Austin Riley. So the Riley Adams and Austin Riley end up meeting each other, and that is the way it goes. And that is a strikeout for the third out of the inning, and that is going to do it here for the Braves in their half of the first inning. So there was no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're through 1 complete. It's the Washington Nationals 2, the Atlanta Braves nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment. The call of the second inning. We're glad you could be here with us. Would you like to support Last Raps Baseball? We would appreciate it if you did. Be sure to check out our eBay page where we have baseball merchandise. We also have stuff from the Japanese League for those who listen from Japan, but we also do other sports like football and basketball as well. Don't forget, visit Last Raps Baseball's eBay store to help support the channel. We'll be glad you did. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top half of the second inning. It's going to be the 7, 8, and 9 batters coming to bat for the Nationals. They were jumped out to a 2-0 lead off of the starter Max Fried in the first inning. Alcides Escobar, Riley Adams, and Victor Robles will get things going here for the Nats in their half of the second. As we mentioned in the last half inning, the Nats were very aggressive against Fried, swinging at a lot of first pitches, but there is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly no balls and 1 strike to Escobar. They were attacking right out of the gate, going right after the first pitch fastballs that they would see, and here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded to the 6th hole. It's backhanded by Swanson over to first, and Escobar is going to be retired on a ground out, 6-3 for out number 1 here in the second inning. It's going to bring up the catcher, Riley Adams. Adams getting the nod today as he's getting an opportunity to get the start. He doesn't have a batting average yet on the season. He has appeared in 1 game. He was 0 for 3, and he had struck out twice. He did play 47 games last year, or appear in 47 games last year between the Toronto organization and the Nationals. See, first pitch, fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Fried ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-1. Last season between the Blue Jays and the Nats, where his game was together, he was actually traded to the Nationals for pitcher Brad Hand. There's a changeup that is waved at and missed, and the count is 1-2. He was originally a 3rd-round selection in the 2017 draft by the Toronto Blue Jays. He was drafted out of high school by the Cubs, but he didn't sign. Here comes the 2-1 pitch, and it's a breaking ball that is swung on and tap foul. Count now goes to 2-2. Adams, as we mentioned, he's in his first year, or first now full season, or starting his first full season with the Nationals organization. Being with the Blue Jays for all that time. He did have a cup of coffee with the Blue Jays in the big leagues last year, and there's a changeup swung on. It's hit on 1 hop. Diving to his left is Riley. He makes the play, gets up and fires to first, and Riley Adams is retired. A fantastic play by the third baseman, Austin Riley, who had to dive to his left, really extended, came up with the ball, fired across the diamond. A nice play there by Olsen at first to keep it from getting away, and that is going to make 2 outs here for the Nationals in their half of the first inning. Fantastic play by the third baseman, Austin Riley. That's going to bring up the center fielder, Victor Robles, and the first pitch from Fried is swung on. It's a fastball. It's grounded to third. Another great play by Riley. He fields, he spins all the way around. He gets up and fires to first, and that is going to retire Robles on a ground out. 5-3 for out number 3. So the Nationals go quickly in their half of the second inning. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Through 1.5, it is the Nationals 2, the Braves nothing. Stick around. Everybody will be back in just a couple minutes. The call of the bottom of the second inning. We got Jimmy in the house. Welcome, everybody. Hang tight. We'll be right back after this. Here's our friend Steve again.
Domo arigato. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I'm new at this. Thank you for watching Last Raps Baseball. Tell all your friends and family to come check him out, ask some questions during the telecast, and give him a good sub and a thumbs up. And this is Steve coming back at you, and some new things on my channel. Star Wars figures that everybody likes. We have Mad magazines from the 1970s. We try to avoid the Noid. And for your pleasure, once in a while, we can open up Michael Jackson if you want, the cards. We have Elvis. We have Sadahar O. We love everything that is everything, so we even have the Beatles fighting with lightsabers. Look at that, John and George. Once in a while, we'll even have my brother take over my channel on a Tuesday. So once again, everybody tell your friends, come see Freddie at Last Raps Baseball. And right now, I'm going to kick it right back to you, Freddie.
Thanks again, Steve. We appreciate you and your support of our channel. And in turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher. Be sure to check out his channel after the game, whether it's Money Monday, Takeover Tuesday, Saturday morning cartoons, or the shoutouts on Sunday. He's got something for everybody. Be sure to check out his channel. Coming up to bat now for the Atlanta Braves in their half of the second inning, it's going to be the heart of the batting order. It'll be Marcell Ozuna, Eddie Rosario, and Adam Duvall, as they will get things going against the right-hander Josiah Gray. As we mentioned in the last half inning with Josiah Gray, we first extended look that I've had of him. He's 6'1", 200-pound right-hander. Of course, he began his career with the Los Angeles Dodgers organization. He was acquired by the Nats last year as a part of the Max Scherzer Trey Turner deal. And there is a fastball swung on the first pitch by Ozuna. It's popped up over on the third base side, but it's going to get in just behind the third base dugout. The count's going to be 0-1. As we said, with the other players coming the other way, Keibert Ruiz was also a big part of the deal. There was also Gerardo Carrillo and Donovan Casey, who were in the minor leagues for the Nats. And those were the other two players that are potentially on their way. So Gray has no balls and 1 strike on Ozuna. Ozuna is batting .375. He's got a couple of homers and 5 RBIs. Gray rocks and delivers. There is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. You could tell by Ozuna's reaction, he wasn't a huge fan of that call. That pitch was a little bit up in the zone. Of course, Ozuna most of last year, because of off-field issues, he was away from the team, but it's great for the Braves to have his back in the lineup. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away. The count is 1-2. Of course, those issues were resolved and everything has been taken care of. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gray gets the sign from his catcher Adams, and he rocks into the motion and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Marcell Ozuna. Ozuna, of course, has been with a few organizations now. He began his career with the Marlins, and he's bounced around just a little bit now. but he had a big contract that he signed before last season. There's a changeup swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. It's one thing that is undeniable. He swings a top-notch bat. He's got a very good stick. That's been a mantra of his career. His knock is his ability in the outfield. He is a bit of an adventure in the outfield. He called the game against the Reds, and he was definitely that the other night. Every time the ball goes his way, you start chewing on your fingernails. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into center field. Moving over to his left is Victor Robles. He's going to make the catch. That is going to retire Ozuna for out number 1 here in the second inning. That is going to bring up the right fielder, Eddie Rosario. Rosario, who had a great playoff, is off to a very rough start. He's hitting .059. He's got nothing on his slash line. So as good a playoff as it was for Eddie, the start to this season has been pretty abysmal. He's looking to get himself on track. And so here comes the first pitch from Gray as he rocks into the motion. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. This was another one of those acquisitions last year by Alex Anthopoulos, who really helped propel the Braves over the top. It was basically acquired with cash for Pablo Sandoval. There's a breaking ball that misses down. The count is 2-0. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Pablo Sandoval, I have to look it up, was pretty quickly released by the Indians last year after that trade. So 2 balls and no strikes. Gray on the mound gets the sign from his catcher, Adams. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Rosario. Right-hander Gray gets his signal, and he's ready to go. He rocks into the motion, and he kicks and fires. There is a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. You can just see sometimes when hitters are oozing confidence and when they seem to be struggling, and that's what is exhibiting here from Rosario. In the playoffs last year, everything that was thrown up to the plate probably looked like a beach ball. You could tell he's taking some pitches. He's trying to get himself more relaxed here. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And Rosario is retired on strikes for out number 2, and that's going to leave it all up to the center fielder, Adam Duvall. So Gray is doing a good job of keeping the hitters off balance, mixing his off speed and his fastball. That last pitch was maybe one of the hardest pitches he's thrown all day. Brings up Adam Duvall. Duvall on the season is batting .261. He's got no homers and 4 RBIs. Duvall last season had quite a bit of juice in the bat. He hit last year between the 2 organizations, Miami and Atlanta. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. He hit 38 homers and drove in 113 runs. It was an absolutely fantastic season for him last year. On top of that, he also picked up the first Gold Glove of his career. It's impressive when you're 32 years old to do that for the first time. There's a breaking ball that catches the inside corner, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Duvall began his career at the major league level in the San Francisco organization. He went over to Cincinnati, and then he played in Atlanta for a bit, and then he went to the Marlins and came back to Atlanta. And there's a breaking ball in the dirt, swung on and missed. And Duvall is retired on strikes for out number 3 here in the second inning. So the Braves go quietly. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are now through 2 complete. It is the Washington Nationals 2, the Atlanta Braves nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with all the action. We're glad you could be here with us. Here's our friend Matt. Be sure to check out Matt Hollis after the game for all your needs and crazy things.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play. But you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Once again, everybody, that's Matt Hollis, another Hollis build. He's a friend of our channel, and in turn, we like to support him, and he supports us. Be sure to check out another Hollis build after the game. We'll be right back after these tunes for the call at the top of the third inning. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the third inning. It is going to be Cesar Hernandez, Juan Soto, and Nelson Cruz. All three of those guys are the top of the order coming up to bat to face Max Fried. As we said at the outset, it was interesting to see that the approach at the plate for the Nats was to attack first pitch fastballs, and that's exactly what they did from Fried the first time up. And there was a breaking ball delivered to Hernandez, taken for a ball upstairs, and the count is 1-0. It'll be interesting to see how Fried is attacking the hitters the second time through the order. There's a fastball that misses off the plate, and the count now goes to 2-0 to Hernandez. Certainly the first inning, the top of the first inning, with the 3 base hits, especially Hernandez, Soto, Franco, they knew it like it was coming. So here comes the 2-0 pitch, and there is a changeup taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Hernandez. Hernandez today is 1 for 1. He singled and scored a run his first time up. Got the party started. And here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count now goes to 3-1. The pitch to Hernandez that he ended up sailing into center field for the base hit was an 0-2 pitch. It caught a lot of the middle of the plate. Fried had missed his pitch, and Hernandez had made him pay. And here comes the 2-3-1 pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to short. Swanson backhands it. He fires across the diamond, and it is going to be out, is the call. A nice play by the first baseman, Matt Olson, to pick the ball out of the dirt. And that is going to retire Hernandez by about a half a step. So that's a ground out, 6-3 for out number 1. That is going to bring up the right fielder, Juan Soto. For Soto today, he is 1 for 1. He singled over the head of the right fielder, Rosario, and he later came around to score. As we had mentioned, it was a bit of an odd play. You thought for sure he should have been standing on second. There's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Soto. Rocking into the motion is Fried, and he delivers a changeup that misses inside, and the count now goes to 1-1. Juan Soto is one of those unique players that you don't see too often in the big leagues these days. Last year, he walked more than he struck out. It's the second consecutive season that has happened. Usually there's only about 3, 4, 5, or 6 players in professional baseball at the top level that will do that. Years past, it used to be guys like Joey Votto and Buster Posey. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Soto. As we said, he led the league in walks last year. He struck out only 93 times, but walked 145 times. Those are Barry Bonds-esque type numbers. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is now 2-2 to Soto. To think this is the 5th year that Soto is in the big leagues, and yet he is only 23 years old. He broke in when he was a 19-year-old, and there's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 2-2. Juan Soto has not signed an extension yet, or has signed an extension yet with the Nationals. I sometimes will make predictions, and in my opinion, my prediction is that he is going to be the first $500 million player in baseball. And there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to third, fielded neatly by Riley across the diamond, and that's going to be in time to get Soto on a ground out, 5-3 for out number 2. With the way that inflation is ripping North America, I can definitely see Soto being one of those players. $500 million is not out of the question. I don't think that his agents would be bashful in blinking an eyelid asking for it. He's worth every penny as a hitter. And so here comes Nelson Cruz to the plate. For Cruz today, he is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. And here's the pitch from Fried. It is swung on. It's grounded to short. It's fielded by Swanson across the diamond, left the board. Now through 2.5 innings, it is the Nationals 2, the Braves nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. The call of the bottom of the 3rd inning. Hang tight, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. We are now moving to the bottom half of the 3rd inning, and it's going to be Dansby Swanson, Alex Dickerson, and Manny Pina coming to bat for the Braves. It'll be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the batting order. They're going to be facing the right-hander Josiah Gray. We have Steve Rademacher in the house, and we have another person in the house who happens to be my mom, I see. Holy geez. She's given us some support in there as well. So thank you all for stopping by today. So Swanson, Dickerson, and Pina to get things going. The Braves have been retired in order, although the first inning, it was a stolen base attempt by Albies that got him nailed. So they've sent the minimum batters to the plate. They've only had 1 hit so far today. The Washington Nationals, though, on the other hand, are able to get to Max Fried early with 2 runs in the first. And since then, he has settled down to retire 7 straight. So Swanson, Dickerson, and Pina to get things going here in the bottom half of the 3rd for the Braves. A lot of people in Atlanta are getting the opportunity to pose with the World Series champion trophies, as they are the defending champions. And so here we go back to the live action. It's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Swanson. Swanson on the season is batting .182. He's got no homers and 2 runs batted in. He bats from the right side against the right-handed throwing Gray. Gray rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Swanson gets himself dug in. He's ready to go back to work. And Gray gets the sign from his catcher, Adams, and he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses way upstairs, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gray gets the sign again from his catcher, Adams. He's ready to go to work. He rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called 3rd strike. And Swanson stands there like the house by the side of the road and watches it go by, and he is retired for out number 1 here in the 3rd. That is going to bring up Alex Dickerson. For Alex Dickerson, he's playing in his 4th game for the Braves. He is 0 for 9 on the season. He's had 1 walk. He was with the San Francisco Giant organization for the last few seasons. Prior to that, he was with the Padres, and the first pitch to Dickerson is a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. Dickerson has spent parts of 6 seasons in the big leagues, 3 with the Padres, 3 with the Giants. So Gray ready to go back to work. He rocks in the motion and fires. It is a fastball swung on. It is lifted into right field. It's moving towards foul territory. Coming in on it is Juan Soto, and he's not going to be able to make the catch. It's going to land in foul territory. He had to come a long way for that ball. The second baseman, Cesar Hernandez, had to go a long way to come to have to get it. That is going to breathe second life. Soto called off Hernandez, and he just couldn't quite get there in time as that ball had hit the ground. But that is just going to be a strike. So Alec Dickerson gets second life. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Usually Juan Soto is pretty sure-handed with the glove, and that one there, probably decision-making wise, I think I may have let that second baseman get it. He had to come a long way to have to get over into foul territory to try to make that grab. There's a breaking ball swung on. This time it's lifted into deep center field. Moving back onto the warning track is Robles, and he's right up against the wall. He's going to make the catch. And Dickerson is going to be retired. He sent it a long way, but he is now out for out number 2, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Manny Pina. Manny Pina is in his first season with the Braves organization. Spent the last 6 years in Milwaukee with the Brewers. Prior to that, he was with the Kansas City organization. It's a bit of an odd way that Pina is been around. He played in 2011 and 12 with the Royals. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. And then he missed the 13, 14, and 15 season before resurfacing again at 29 years old with the Brewers. So he is a veteran catcher. And last season was arguably his best year in baseball that he had in his career. There was a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Last year with the Brewers, he only hit 189, but offensively he hit 13 homers and drove in 33 runs. Pina is known more for his defensive play than for his offensive skill. Certainly production-wise, he was pretty good last year. There's a changeup swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Big Ray in the house today. He says, surprised that there is any games being played with most of the country under the umbrella of rain, and that is true. There was a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. We were originally going to do the Tigers and the Red Sox, and for that very reason, we jumped off of that game because it did look like there was going to be trouble in the Motor City for rain. There are games that are underway around and about, including the Cubs and the Pirates and the Mets and the Phillies, but all of those games could be dicey whether they get completed or not. There's a breaking ball that misses down. A nice block by the catcher, Adams, and that's going to run the count to 2-2 on Pina. We thought about maybe doing the Dodgers and the Twins. That looked like it could have been a safe call as well. Of course, Kershaw going head-to-head against Chris Paddock would have been an entertaining game to call. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the third base side, and that still keeps the count at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. To Pina, the switch-hitting Ozzie Albies is waiting his turn on deck. As Pina is trying to turn the batting order over to the top with 2 out here in the bottom of the third. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. Gray rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count now runs to 3-2 to Pina. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. The sun is trying to get through the clouds in Atlanta. It is moving in and out. The start of the game, it was partly cloudy. It was more cloudy than partly, and certainly now the sun is starting to get onto the field. There's a fastball swung on. It's popped up, but it's going to reach the seats over on the first base side. It's going to keep the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes to Pina. We are here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Our ticker will have to update when we get to the next half. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Pina. Gray ready to go back to work as he gets the sign from his catcher, Adams. Working from the windup, he rocks into the motion and he kicks and delivers. And there is a changeup swung on. It is popped up into left field. Moving over underneath it is the left fielder, Thomas. He's going to make the grab, and that is going to do it. Pina gives the starter Gray a battle, but he doesn't win it, and that is going to be the 3rd out of the inning. So for the Braves in their half of the 3rd, there were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We're now through 3 complete. It is the Washington Nationals 2, the Atlanta Braves nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with the call. The top of the 4th inning. Thank you for being here with us. Hold tight. We'll be back again after these.
Hello, friends. Steve coming back at you, a clean-shaven Steve. Thank you for watching The Last Reps Baseball. And please continue to support my channel among others, like Another Hollis Build. Awesome commercial. And now I'll show you a few more things that we do have. We have toys, like this bobblehead Star Wars on wheels. We have Noids. We can't keep avoiding them forever. We do have Legos. Love my Legos. We have Origami Folder. Check him out. He's new into this, getting started, has good following already. We have Red Beard Breaks. And we also have these things that, in a pinch, will tell you what your temperature is. So, if you like all of this, and if you like Last Reps Baseball, join all of us. We'd love to have you. And I know you would enjoy us. Thank you, peace, good night, and cheers.
Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the top of the 4th inning, and coming up for the Nationals, it'll be the heart of their batting order. It'll be Josh Bell, Mikael Franco, and Lane Thomas, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Max Fried goes to work, and he delivers a fastball that misses upstairs to Bell, and the count is quickly 1-0. Bell today is 0 for 1. He grounded to short his first time up, but he did knock in a run. It's his 6th RBI of the season. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Bell. Fried was, after a rocky first inning, very efficient, 35 pitches through 3 innings. He's got himself where he's been around the zone, of course, and the hitters have been swinging, especially early in the ball game, a lot of first pitch strikes. There's a fastball swung on by Bell. It's fouled away over on the first base side, and that makes the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bell was a Pittsburgh Pirate for a long time, and of course, he was brought over to the Washington Nationals organization last year. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 1-2. He was part of that, what I would call, fire sale that the Pirates were exhibiting. He was in return. It was Will Crow and Edney Yeen that went over to the Pirates, and there's a fastball swung on. This ball is hit into left field. It's going to get into the corner. Rounding first and digging for second is Bell, and he's going to have himself a leadoff double here in the fourth inning. So Bell with a leadoff double to get things going. That pitch there absolutely turned on it, and he was able to hit it over the head of the third baseman, Riley, where they were positioning him. Really surprised that Ozuna had to come such a long way to go after Bell to get to the ball. It is his first double of the season. He has some pop in the bat for sure. So he's aboard at second, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Mikael Franco. Franco today is 1 for 1. He singled and advanced to second on an error by the center fielder. There is a breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. Franco off to a hot start. Of course, this is his first season in a Washington uniform. And here comes the pitch from Fried, and it is a changeup swung on and missed. And the count now is 1-1. He had a 6-year run in Philadelphia. Then he went over to the Royals for the 2020 shortened season. He ended up in Baltimore last year, and one could argue the time in Baltimore, that might have been the worst year statistically of his career. So he is looking for a bounce back. This might be one of those situations of buy low and sell high where Nationals are getting Franco in a low period, hoping maybe they can move him high. I don't know if this is going to be a long-term solution for them, as he is signed through the 22 season on a 1-year deal. He's also only making $700,000. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 2-1. So this is an opportunity for him to play himself back into another contract. I have to say, I always kind of liked Franco, and of course, for $700,000, if he can produce, you're going to have to like him a whole lot more. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. Fried checks the runner at second. He checks Bell again. He kicks and fires. And there's a fastball swung on and missed. The count is now 2-2. That was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. It was off the plate, and Franco went chasing. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fried ready to go back to work as he gets the sign from his catcher, Pina. Bell establishes his lead at second base. Fried checks the runner, and he kicks and delivers. It is a changeup swung on and missed. And Franco is retired on strikes for out number 1 here in the fourth inning. That's the difference that you see between Major League Baseball and when we call the NPB games. That situation there, even with the runner on second, with a 2-run lead and the bottom half of the batting order coming to the plate, one would expect that in the Japanese league that they would bunt him over to third, and then they'd have 2 cracks, or at least 1 crack with the next hitter to try to be able to take him home. Troy jumps in. He says, "What happened? I thought you were doing the Tigers today." Yeah. Well, the rain in the forecast in Detroit kind of scared us off. I know the Tigers are supposed to be playing here shortly, but we see that the weather may not get that full game in. So we bounced over to do this one here. So that is a better day. Of course, some of the games have already been postponed in the Midwest, and there are probably more to come. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So we had to make a last-minute decision change if we were going to call one of the other ball games. So I don't know, and I'm not confident that that Tiger-Red Sox game is going to go the distance. So there'd be nothing worse than calling 3 or 4 innings and getting stuck in a rain delay or have the game ultimately postponed. There's a fastball that is delivered for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-1. Certainly, if I have my choice, I'd rather be doing the Tigers and the Red Sox. Not that I don't enjoy the Braves. It's the opponents of Washington that I sure wasn't expecting after last night's 16-4 blasting to be in the lead here in the fourth inning with a 2-0 lead and looking to score more. There's a fastball swung on. It's tapped slowly in front of the plate. Fried jumps off the mound, fields it. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Thomas on a ground out, 1-3 for out number 2. We also had plans to do it yesterday, but unfortunately, the sometimes the other part of my life gets in the way, and I had to take care of some business in the morning, and that it would have precluded us doing that Tiger game yesterday. So I haven't had a chance to watch the Tigers yet this season. So hopefully when they get on a roll, we'll be jumping on the bandwagon and giving some more games there. So there's 2 away, and Josh Bell has moved over to third. And that's going to bring up the shortstop, Alcides Escobar. In our stream the other night, people were asking about players that played in Major League Baseball, went over to the NPB, and then came back. Well, this is one of them. Alcides Escobar is now back in Washington for second season. He went over and played for the Tokyo Yakult Swallows during the 2020 season, and there's a breaking ball that catches the inside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Escobar. Escobar, of course, was originally in the Milwaukee organization. He was a part of the trade, sent him over to Kansas City, where those were the best years of his career. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down. It's a good block by the catcher, Pina. Keeps the runner Bell at third base. Count is 1-1. So he, after the 2018 season with the Royals, he spent most of 2019 in the minors, and then he went over and played in Japan in 2020. The next thing you know, he finds himself back in the big leagues. And for those of you who don't know, he's also related. He's the cousin of Ronald Acuna Jr. There is a fastball swung on. This ball is popped up to the right side of the infield. Camping out underneath it is Ozzie Albies. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to do it. So that is the third out of the inning, and they threaten to the Nationals, but they don't score. There was no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors, and 1 runner left stranded. We're now through 3.5, and it's the Nationals 2 and the Braves nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment with the call at the bottom of the 4th inning. Glad you guys could stop in here and listen to this one today. As we said, rain in the Midwest. A lot of postponements are about to happen. Thanks for being here. Here's our friend Matt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city, San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Matt Hollis, we really do appreciate you. We're going to take a quick peek at the out-of-town scoreboard. There are a number of games that are underway. There's already one that has been postponed. The Royals and the Cardinals have been postponed. That game is going to be made up on May the 2nd. But there are games underway across Major League Baseball. The Tigers, in the bottom of the 1st inning on a home run by Jonathan Scope, have captured a 1-0 lead over the Boston Red Sox. The Guardians and the Reds are knotted up at zeros, though the Guardians have 2 on with 1 out in the top of the 1st. The Pirates are beating the Cubs 3-1. That game is in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Mets and the Phillies are knotted up at 0, and the Dodgers scored 2 in the top of the 1st. And they are continuing to threaten. The Twins have made a couple errors, and it is 2-0 Dodgers over the Twins. That is in the top of the 1st inning. So this one is ready to resume as Josiah Gray is ready to face Ozzie Albies, Matt Olson, and Austin Riley. And the first pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled away down the right field line, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Ozzie Albies. Albies today is 1 for 1. He's the only batter in the order that has reached base. He was caught stealing in the top of the 1st inning, so Gray, through the first 3, had faced the minimum batters. There's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul slowly over by the first base dugout. The count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. And Steve Rademacher in the chat has posted up some information there. He's got a big sale coming up, does Matt. There's a breaking ball that misses down. Big Ray in the house as well. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Albies. Gray gets the sign from the catcher, Adams, and he's ready to go back to work. Here comes the 1-2. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. One of the players to keep an eye on in the Chicago Cubs lineup, of course, is the Japanese import Seiya Suzuki. There's a breaking ball that is swung on in the dirt, and the home plate umpire says it was fouled off, so it looks like we're going to do the 2-2 again. Catcher Adams had picked up the ball and tagged the batter. Not so, says the home plate umpire, DJ Rayburn. It was the 50th pitch of the ball game for Gray. So he gets a new baseball, he rubs it up, and he's ready to go back to work. And here comes the 2-2 pitch. He rocks into the motion, he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 2-2. Just to finish off about the Japanese import Suzuki, he had a couple of home runs yesterday. So he has made his presence felt already in the Major League Baseball. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gray again ready to go back to work. This is the 7th pitch of the at-bat to Ozzie Albies. He rocks in the motion and he delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is popped up, but it's going to be straight behind home plate. Going to reach the seats, and that's going to keep the count at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. This game here has got pretty good pace to it so far. The first inning, Max Fried came out there throwing strikes, and the Nationals were up there swinging. So 2-2. Here's the pitch from Gray. It's a fastball that misses inside, and the count goes to 3-2. Curious to see how far they're going to leave Gray on the mound. He only went 4 innings in his first start. See if how effective he is going to be in this one, and how long they plan to extend him. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. There is a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled away, and this battle is going to continue. We're now about to get the 10th pitch of the at-bat. In his first pitch, or in his first game, I should say, if I said that correctly about Gray. The first game that he played in, he threw about 75 pitches. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and Ozzie Albies has won the battle. He is aboard for the second time today, this time via walk. So he is going to be the runner at first base. That's going to bring up Matt Olson. So Olson strides to the plate. He is 0 for 1 today. He grounded to second his first time up. He is going to be facing the right-hander Gray here with the runner on first. And Gray instead fires over to first base. Diving back in time is the base runner Albies. They are concerned about Albies. He does like to run. As we said, there were no Atlanta Braves with any stolen bases yet this year in the lineup today. But Albies is definitely a threat. Establishes his lead at first. Gray kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded on one hop over to the second baseman, who flips it over to the shortstop, Escobar, back to first. It's going to be a double play. It's going to be a 4-6-3 variety. And that, again, is going to erase the base runner, Albies. And that is going to leave it all up to Austin Riley with 2 away. So 2 outs here, and Riley stepping up to the plate. Definitely got some help there. Gray ready to go. Here comes the first pitch to the right-handed hitting Riley. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. And that is 1 ball and no strikes to Riley. Riley, his first time up, struck out in his only plate appearance. His average has slipped to 273 on the season. They've got the shift on. There are 3 fielders to the left side of the infield. Gray rocks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses inside. And the count is now 2 balls and no strikes. Gray again ready to go back to work. He gets the sign from his catcher, Adams. And he rocks into the motion. He kicks and fires. It's a fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 3-0. Austin Riley really had a quality season last year. He definitely a big part, obviously, of the Braves' success. He played 160 games. He led all of baseball with games played last year. He hit over 300. He hit 33 homers, and he drove in 107 runs. There was a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. Count is 3-1. In previous years, he had bounced around. He played a little bit of left field, a little bit of third base. And last year really was the first time that he kind of was given third base as his home. Here comes the pitch. And it is a breaking ball that misses down, and that's going to be the second walk of the inning, as Gray is starting to lose some command of his pitches. So keep your eyes here on what happens over the next couple innings. Sometimes pitchers, they start to lose their stuff. The deeper they go into the game, gets a little bit tired, lose the command, lose the feel. But as we said about Riley last year, 156 games played at third base. Or if you go back into the 2019 season, he played the majority of his games in left field. 58 of them, to be precisely, of the 60 games played that year. So now he's getting the opportunity to hold down the everyday job at third base, and it's pretty much his job now. And here comes the pitch from Gray. It's a fastball that misses inside. The count is 1-0 to Marcell Ozuna. Ozuna today is 0 for 1. He flew up to center field his first time up. This is a dangerous part of the batting order. When you start walking guys and putting ducks on the pond, they have some guys that can put the ball in the seats. That's exactly what potentially could happen here. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It is lined into center field, and Victor Robles is moving to his left. He's got to fight the skies, and he makes the grab. Ozuna hit the ball right on the screws, but that is out number 3, and that's going to do it for the Braves in their half of the 4th inning. So for the Braves in their half of the 4th, there were no runs, there were no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 4 complete. It is the Washington Nationals 2, the Atlanta Braves nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the bottom of the 2nd inning in just a couple minutes. We're glad you guys could be in here with us. Hang tight. Here's our friend Steve again.
Hello, and we'll be right back to Last Straps Baseball after this brief message from me, Steve Rademacher. Thank you all for watching my channel and supporting me. Thank you all for supporting Freddie and Last Straps Baseball. He does an awesome job commentating. And to show you some more stuff that you could see on my channel, we have shiny Pokemon cards. We have Hall of Fame quarterbacks like Brett Favre. We have Bo Jackson playing baseball. That's right. That's his rookie card. Very nice. We even have gold we have gold. We have wrestlers. That's Rowdy Piper. And yes, we even have Jason Stokes and many ways to destroy him. So now, thank you again. Back to your regular program with your host, Last Reps Baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving now to the top of the fifth inning, and Max Fried is going to be facing Riley Adams, Victor Robles, and Cesar Hernandez. And the first pitch delivered to Adams is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly no balls and one strike. Adams today is 0 for 1. He grounded out to the third baseman his first time up. There's a breaking fastball that misses well off the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Fried ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. There is a changeup swung on and fouled away. The count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Riley Adams. Adams is looking for his first hit of the season. He is right now 0-4. And it is 0 for 4 as he's 0 for 3 entering into this one. And there's a fastball that is swung on and missed. And Adams is gone on strikes for the first out of the inning. That last pitch was at 97 miles an hour. Absolutely explosive. And every once in a while, Max Fried will dial it up. But for the most part, he's usually in the low 90s and certainly with his off-speed stuff into the 80s, but when he has to throw his fastball, sometimes he can really dial it up. And there is the first pitch fastball to Robles. He bunts it. Off the mound is Fried. He picks it up. He spins. He fires. And that is going to retire Robles on a ground out 1-3. Nice idea by the 9-hole hitter to try to find a way on base. But it was a great play by the pitcher, Fried, to get off the mound, pick it up on the third base side of the diamond and fire glove side over to first base to be able to retire the speedy Robles. That is now 2 away, and that brings up the top of the order, Cesar Hernandez. Hernandez today is 1 for 2. He has scored a run, and he's also grounded out. He takes a first pitch breaking ball for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So here comes the pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. Ray says, I'm not sure what the over-under on this game was, but looking like under was the way to go with the weather. Well, the weather right now in Atlanta is pretty nice. It's 70 degrees. It's partly cloudy. Right now at this point of the game, partly sunny. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 2-1. The forecast for this game, it didn't look like there was much rain imminent. The crowd is looking rather comfortable in their T-shirts watching this one. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 3-1 to Hernandez. So 3 balls and 1 strike. It is a beautiful afternoon for some afternoon baseball. That's exactly what we have in Atlanta. And Max Fried steps off the rubber as the wind looks like it's picking up a little bit. The jerseys of the players are starting to blow around a little bit. So we mentioned at the outset it was looking like a sparse crowd, but I will say it may be looking like a late arriving crowd. The seats are starting to fill up a little bit more. It's definitely not a full house. And here's the pitch from Fried. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. Now runs the count to 3-2 to Hernandez. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Waiting on deck is Juan Soto. I'm sure Fried would like to face Soto with nobody on to lead off the next inning. And there's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 3-2. Anytime you face a hitter like Soto with runners on base, poses a potential for more damage. Getting him to lead off the top of the inning with nobody on is probably the way that you would want to face him most times. And here comes the pitch from Fried. It is a fastball swung on, and this ball is grounded sharply through the 6-hole past the diving Austin Riley. And Cesar Hernandez is aboard with a 2-out single, and that is going to bring up the right fielder Juan Soto. It's the second hit of the ball game by Hernandez. He's on fire today, setting the table for the Nationals. We've seen some really good defensive plays by Riley here today. That one, he didn't make the play, but his effort was top drawer. He had to take a couple of steps and dive to his left. And it just got past the outstretched arm into left field. So that brings Juan Soto up to the plate. Soto today is 1 for 2. He singled and scored a run in the first inning. He also grounded out to third his last time up. And here's the pitch from Fried. It is a fastball that misses off the outside corner, and the count is quickly 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Soto. Soto has pulled his average up to 304 on the season. As we mentioned in his last at bat, he's one of those few players that will walk more than he strikes out. And that was on full display last year. We'd anticipate as the season goes on, we will see that this year too. Here's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Juan Soto. Fried again looks in and gets the sign from his catcher, Adams. He shakes the signal off. He shakes him off again, and now he gets a sign that he likes, and he's ready to go to work. He checks the runner at first base. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses outside. And the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Soto. He'll be followed by Nelson Cruz should he find a way on base here. Fried shaking again off the signs off his catcher. He comes set at the belt. And he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses inside, and it gets away from the catcher, Pina, all the way to the backstop, and that is going to move Hernandez over to second base. We'll have to see if that's going to be a pass ball or a wild pitch. It was definitely a wild pitch. It got right past Pina, and it got right through the umpire. The umpire was standing in the slot between the batter and the catcher. So 3 balls and 1 strike now to Soto. And that is with Cesar Hernandez standing on second base. So Fried gets the sign from his catcher, Pina, and he's ready to go back to work. He kicks and he fires. It's a fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the first base side. And Juan Soto has swung so hard, he's spun himself into the ground. He's walking slowly. I'm going to have to take a look. I don't think it fouled it off his foot. But we're going to get a look on the replay again here. Maybe he did. He is down on the ground on all fours. Yep, right off the top of his foot. He's got a lot of protection on that lead leg. He's got some shin guard on, and he's got a foot protector, but that didn't matter. He found that pitch right off the top of his foot. It's going to run the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. And for anybody who's ever fouled a pitch off of their leg at 90 miles an hour, it hurts. It hurts big time. I often say you'll hear a bone contusion will be what the guy has. And I always say a bone contusion is like a bone growing out of the bone. There's a changeup swung on and missed. And Soto is retired on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. And that is going to do it for the Nationals in their half of the 5th inning. They had no runs. There was 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're through 4.5. It is the Washington Nationals 2, the Atlanta Braves nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with the call. The Bottom of the fifth inning. We're glad you guys could be with us here today. Here's our friend Steve again, Steve Rademacher. He's in the house today. So here he is. Check out his channel after the game.
Hey guys, and thank you, Freddie. Steve coming back at you. That's right, Steve Rademacher. I would like to thank each and every one of you that is tuned into my channel. And today, let's do a little shout out for some other great channels you should be watching. There is WVlogs 18. There's Big D's Sports and Collectibles. You all know another Hollis build. Why not Like Father, Like Son? That's a great duo that does some great stuff. It shows some great cards. And of course, the one and only Bud Stoney, creator of One of Ones, and they're all signed on the back. Bud Stoney, 1 of 1, like this beautiful Robin Yount that he made for me. He made me another Robin Yount, this time mini, and a Christian Yelich mini. Great cards, and he does more than cards. We have darts of Hulk Hogan and many other things. So give them a look-see and give me another look-see. Subscribers are always welcome, and back to Freddie.
Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the bottom half of the fifth inning. It's going to be Rosario, Duvall, and Swanson to face the right-hander Josiah Gray. Gray has been pretty steady through his first 4 innings of work. He's only allowed 1 hit. He has only walked a couple of batters, but he is ready to face Rosario, and the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses in for ball 1. The count is 1-0. I'm curious to see if this might be the last inning for Gray. He pitched 4 in his last outing. We're going to find out if he is going to be entrusted to go further than that, even though he's at 65 pitches now as he misses with a fastball outside. Count is 2-0. We started to detect in the last inning when he walked a couple of batters. The command of his pitches is starting to wane a little bit as this game has weared on. So I'll be keeping an eye on the Nationals bullpen. If he can get them 5, then it becomes a battle of the pens. There's a fastball swung on it, is lifted into center field. Moving over on it is the center fielder, or coming in on it is Robles. The right fielder, Soto, had to be coming hard as well because the wind has been blowing in from right field, and it's changed a little bit of direction. The ball got knocked down, and then they had to come in and get it. But that is going to retire Rosario for out number 1 here in the 5th, and that'll bring up Adam Duvall. He said at the outset of the game, the wind was blowing in from right field at about 8 miles an hour. It has shifted a little bit, but it is causing a little bit of havoc for the outfielders. We saw that, of course, when Juan Soto had to try to make the catch in right field, how far he had to come. And, of course, the ball dropped in foul territory for a strike. That was when Alex Dickerson was at the plate. There is a breaking ball taken by Adam Duvall for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Adam Duvall. Gray ready to go back to work. He rocks in the motion, and there is a changeup swung on and missed. And the count is now 0-2. I will say this, that the pitcher, Gray, today has done a decent enough job of keeping the Braves hitters off balance with his mix of fastballs and breaking balls. Every once in a while, he mixes in an off-speed pitch. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. And Gray steps off the rubber. Ready to this one to go again. So Gray gets the sign from his catcher. He's ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that comes inside and hits Duvall. And Duvall is going to be able to get the base. So Duvall on an 0-2 pitch gets clipped on the body armor that he's got on the left arm, and that's going to send him over to first base. That's nothing more that drives managers crazy. He's hitting guys on some of that stuff. So here comes the first pitch to Dansby Swanson. He kicks and delivers, does Gray, and it's a breaking ball. Take it for a called strike. The count is quickly no balls and 1 strike to Swanson. And here comes the 0-1 to Swanson. It is a fastball swung on and missed, and the count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Zach is in the house. He says, go Atlanta Braves. He's working in his greenhouse probably today. Welcome, Zach. Thanks for stopping in. The runner at first is Duvall. There's 1 away, and Swanson is at the plate with no balls and 2 strikes on him. Gray holds at the belt. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-2. Swanson today, of course, struck out looking his first time up. He's struggled at the plate at the beginning of the season here. He's averages slipped to 174. Of course, he's not necessarily in the lineup for his bat as much as he is for his glove, but he can produce offensively when he does get things going. Of course, that just adds the depth to the lineup. Zach says he's mowing grass while he listens. Well, we appreciate you. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into right center field. Moving over underneath it is the right fielder Soto. He makes the grab. He'll put that away for out number 2. And I'm just going to leave it up to Alex Dickerson. It looks like that the Braves have left their offensive bats at home from last night after they pounded 16 runs out against the Nationals. Something else that sometimes drives you crazy as a manager. You go out one game and you put up a 16 spot. The next day you can't come out and put up a single run. Maybe the boys had a little bit too much enjoyment last night after the game. We don't know. So that brings up Alex Dickerson. Dickerson is 0 for 1 today. He flew out to center field his first time up. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball taken for a called strike at the knees, and the count is 0-1. So we mentioned before, Dickerson has, in his first year with the Atlanta organization, he began his career in San Diego and then went to San Francisco. Last year, he probably played the most of his career. He appeared in 111 games. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Another veteran player added to the Atlanta lineup. Dickerson will be 32 years old at the end of May. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And here comes the pitch from Gray. It's a fastball that just misses off the inside corner, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. We'll be checking the out-of-town scoreboard again after this half inning. As we mentioned, there were a lot of games that we were concerned about whether they were even going to be played or not. The Royals and the Cardinals were postponed. A lot of the games in the Midwest are battling some weather. So here comes the pitch from Gray. It's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Waiting his turn on deck is the catcher, Manny Pina. So with 2 out, the Braves are trying to keep things going here against the starter, Gray. Gray gets the sign from his catcher, and he comes set at the belt. He kicks and he delivers. It is a fastball that misses inside, and that is going to be ball 4. Alex Dickerson is aboard with a 2-out walk. That is going to bring up the catcher, Manny Pina. It's also going to bring out the coach from the dugout for the Nationals. That looks like we've got, are we going to see ourselves a pitching change here, or is this going to be just a visit to the mound as they talk to Josiah Gray? One would have to think that this is going to be the opportunity for Gray to dig himself out, probably telling him that Pina is going to be the last batter he faces. If he ends up allowing Pina to get to the top of the order, I can't really see Josiah Gray staying in the ball game. But they are going to leave him in. It's the pitching coach, Jim Hickey, who made his way to the mound. Hickey, of course, probably was best known with his time in the Tampa Bay organization when he was the pitching coach under Joe Madden, and then he followed Madden over to the Cubs. But Hickey is the pitching coach now in Washington, and his conference on the mound is over. So now it is going to be Gray ready to go back to work. He's going to face Pina here with 2 aboard and 2 out. He checks the runner at second. He kicks and delivers. It is a changeup taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Pina in his first at bat really gave Gray a battle. He had a 9-pitch at bat. He ended up flying out to left field to end the 3rd inning. But he was definitely on the pitcher, Gray. He battled him. He fouled pitches away. It was right on top of his stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how they deal with Pina here. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball at 95, well off the outside corner, and the count goes even at 1-1. Wonder if that will set him up there with the stuff outside. Big Ray says, who has or is looking like they will replace that leadership lost by Freeman for the Braves? It's a good question. One would have to think that Matt Olson coming over, of course, sometimes it's hard to gauge when a new player comes into the locker room. One would think that Austin Riley is going to be picking up some slack over there at third. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gray gets the sign from his catcher, Adams, and he's ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball, swung on and missed. And Pina is retired for out number 3 here in the 5th inning. The Atlanta Braves threatened, but they don't score. There were no runs, there was no hits, no errors, but 2 runners left aboard. We are now through 5 complete innings. It is the Washington Nationals 2, the Atlanta Braves nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call of the 6th inning in just a moment. Here's our friend Matt again. Be sure to check out Matt Hollis' channel after the game.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just 1 roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
That's right, everybody. Be sure to check out Matt Hollis after the game. We'll be back in about 40 seconds with the call of the top of the 6th inning.
All I wanna be
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top half of the sixth inning. It's going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming to bat for the Nationals. That means Nelson Cruz, Josh Bell, and Mikael Franco are the scheduled hitters to face the lefty Max Fried. It is a 2-0 ball game. Fried gave up the 2 runs in the first inning, and after that, he has settled right down. And here comes the first pitch to Cruz. It's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. For Fried today, he has thrown 69 pitches through his first 5 innings of work. There is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-0 to Cruz. Cruz today is 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded to short. And here we go back to the action, and it is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. And the count now is 2 balls and 1 strike to Cruz. Fried ready to go back to work. He kicks and delivers. It's hit back at the pitcher, Fried. He knocks it down. He picks it up and he fires over to first base. And that is going to retire Cruz on a ground out, 1-3 for out number 1 here in the 6th inning. Yeah, and I see the Big Ray says Freeman's response to Acuna trying to call him out is a testament to what a great leader is and what Freeman is. I don't know if you saw the post-mortem when Freddie Freeman left and signed the contract with the Dodgers, and they asked Acuna about it, and Acuna said something like, "We're not going to miss him," or "I'm not going to miss him." So I don't think there was any love lost between those 2 players in the locker room, but certainly when Freddie Freeman was calling out that younger player, and sometimes it's hard to call out some of these players, or not necessarily hard, but hard for the younger players to understand what is expected of them. And when they have the veteran leadership, not necessarily accepting that. Acuna, of course, had a big contract. As we have a little break in the action here, is Max Fried's getting a couple of tosses as that ball had come back at him. And he knocked it down, and just checking to see how he feels here, if they're going to have an injury replacement, but it looks like he's going to be okay and ready to go. He's talking to the trainer. He's talking to Brian Snitker. He's letting him know how he feels, and I think that they're ready to get this one going. That ball was hit right back at the pitcher. Hit him in the back of the leg, actually, when he had turned. And Nelson Cruz, he was able to pick it up and fire to first. It was back in the back of the right hamstring. Fried definitely falls off of the mound. Almost got him in the butt. It's below the butt. Never a good feeling. So that's going to bring up the first baseman, Josh Bell. Bell today is 1 for 2. He doubled his last time up. He grounded out and knocked the run in back in the first inning. He's 1 for 2 today. Here comes the pitch from Fried. It is a changeup that is swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Josh Bell. After this inning, we'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. As there are games going around Major League Baseball. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It's going to be lifted over the head of the second baseman into right field, and Bell is aboard for the second time today with a base hit. He's got himself a 1-out single, and that's going to bring up Mikael Franco. So Josh Bell really just threw it out. He got it off the end of the bat, and he was able to loop it over the head of the second baseman, Ozzie Albies, and it fell into shallow right field. So Bell, the runner at first, and Mikael Franco steps up to the plate. Franco today is 1 for 2. He singled in the first, and he struck out in the fourth. He's pulled his average up to 333, and here comes the first pitch from Fried, but instead he throws over to first, and diving back in time is the runner, Bell. So Franco digs in, and now he's waiting on the offering from Fried, and here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that handcuffs the catcher, Pina, and on to second goes Bell as that ball is squirted away. I have to say that in the last couple innings, the battery of the Braves are not on the same page. That was a breaking ball, And Pina looked like he was going to go down to block it, but the ball wasn't low enough in the dirt, and the ball ended up hitting off the thumb of his glove, trickled away. I'm not sure how they're going to rule it. We'll have to see. I would rule that one a pass ball. To me, that was more on the catcher than it was on the pitcher, Fried. So here comes the pitch, and it's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. It's going to even the count to 1-1 on Franco. But regardless, that is going to allow Josh Bell to get to second base. The official scoring on that, and we don't have the official scoring on that one as of yet. It was a pass ball. So here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field. It's going to get down in front of the right fielder, Rosario. Stopping at third is Bell as the ball comes back into the plate. So Maikel Franco has his second hit of the day, and the Nationals have something brewing here in the sixth inning. So they've got runners on the corners and one out. And that's going to bring up Lane Thomas to the plate. So Thomas stepping up to the plate. The former St. Louis Cardinal facing Max Fried for the third time today. And the trainer is on his way to the mound. And again, they're out to see Fried, and that's going to be it. Max Fried is going to be done for the day as Snitker also accompanies him and takes him out. So he is finished. We are going to have a pitching change. So stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. The Braves are taking Fried out of the ball game. There are runners on the corners. Hold tight. We'll give you some of our Did You Know stuff featuring another Brave. Here's our friend Steve Rademacher to keep you entertained while we have this pitching change. We'll be back in just a couple moments. It is a Braves pitching change here in the top of the sixth.
Hello, and we'll be right back to Last Reps Baseball after this brief message from me, Steve Rademacher. Thank you all for watching my channel and supporting me. Thank you all for supporting Freddie in Last Reps Baseball. He does an awesome job commentating. And to show you some more stuff that you could see on my channel, we have shiny Pokemon cards. We have Hall of Fame quarterbacks like Brett Favre. We have Bo Jackson playing baseball. That's right. That's his rookie card. Very nice. We even have gold. We have gold. We have wrestlers. That's Rowdy Piper. And yes, we even have Jason Stokes and many ways to destroy him. So now, thank you again. Back to your regular program with your host, Last Reps Baseball.
It is appreciated, Steve. We thank you for being a supporter of our channel, and in turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher. And this is now a pitching change as we have Colin McHugh entering into the ballgame. He's appeared in a couple games already this year, pitching 2 2/3 innings. He's allowed no walks, 6 strikeouts, and he's had a 3.38 ERA. So that is who is entering into the ball game. And we are going to be watching him take over here. It was a line drive back off the bat of Nelson Cruz that hit Fried in the back of the left leg. It really wasn't the same after that. And that is pretty much what has led to the change here, is after Cruz had drilled him, Josh Bell has singled, and then Maikel Franco had singled, and now that's going to bring up Lane Thomas, as we said, with runners on the corners. And McHugh is getting some extra time to go through his warm-up tosses. We'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, as there are multiple games going on in Major League Baseball today. And we'll update you on those while McHugh is completing his warm-up tosses. In Detroit, it is a 1-1 ball game in the bottom of the third. Nathan Eovaldi is pitching. He is going today, and he is on the bump. He allowed a solo shot to Jonathan Scope back in the first inning. Kiki Hernandez responded with a solo shot of his own. That game is tied up at 1-1 in the bottom of the third. And the game between the Guardians and the Reds, it's 3-0 in the top of the third. Nick Lodolo is making his big league debut for the Reds. We'll give you more scores after this as we're ready to resume the action. So Colin McHugh takes over, and the first pitch to Lane Thomas is a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into deep right field. Moving over underneath it is Eddie Rosario. He makes the catch. Tagging at third and coming home to score is Josh Bell, and that's going to extend the lead to 3-0. So Lane Thomas does his job by hitting a sacrifice fly to right. Scores Bell all the way from third, and that is going to keep Franco at first. He is now 2 out here in the sixth inning, and that's going to bring up Alcides Escobar. So Escobar is stepping up here to face the right-hander McHugh with 2 out now in the inning, and that is one pitch from McHugh, and he retires the first batter he sees. So here comes the first pitch to Escobar. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Last pitch almost looked like it was more of a cutter than anything else. Escobar on the season has seen his average slip to 0.59 as he's 0 for 2 today. He's grounded to short and he's popped to second. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and the count is now 0-2 to Escobar. Certainly in his career, the offensive prowess of Alcides Escobar has not been something that he has been known for. He's been more of a glove throughout his career. And of course, we said his best years came with the Kansas City organization. So here's the 0-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-2. The bottom third of the Nationals batting order has been pretty much silent today, as the hitters have combined to go 0 for 6 so far. All the damage has been done with the top part of the order. So here comes the 1-2 pitch from McHugh as he holds set at the chest. He kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. Escobar was swinging at ball 2. Instead, he keeps the count at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. So here comes the pitch from McHugh as he gets his sign from Pina, and it is a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Escobar is going to be retired on strikes for the third out of the inning, but the Nationals do pick up a run. In the sixth inning, they had 1 run. There was 2 hits. There was no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the sixth inning. It is the Washington Nationals 3, the Atlanta Braves nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment. The call of the bottom half of the sixth. We're glad you guys could be here with us today. Hang tight, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the sixth inning. It is going to be the top of the order. Ozzie Albies, Matt Olson, and Austin Riley coming to bat. There will be a pitching change for the Washington Nationals. They are going to the bullpen. It's going to be Kyle Finnegan now coming in to replace Josiah Gray. Not probably a bad decision, as Gray was starting to falter in the last inning. So Finnegan on in relief, and he is taking over here. So Albies, Olson, and Riley, the top third of the batting order, coming up to face him. Just a couple other looks at that out-of-town scoreboard. The Pirates are coming to bat in the bottom of the fifth. They have a 6-2 lead on the Cubs. The Mets have broken through. They have a 1-0 lead on the Phillies. That's in the top of the fourth inning. In the bottom of the fourth inning, the Dodgers hold a 3-0 lead over the Minnesota Twins. And that is where we stand. And now Kyle Finnegan comes into the ballgame. He's appeared in 2 games. He's pitched 2 innings. He has walked none, struck out 3, and he has an ERA of 0. So he is coming on for his 3rd appearance of the season. So he's got the tough part and the top part and tough part of the batting order. And so the Atlanta Braves, he is ready to go to work. And Ozzie Albies today is 1 for 1, and he has walked. He's been on base twice. And the first pitch is a fastball that he swings at and fouls away, and the count is quickly 0-1. Albies, who singled in the first inning, was caught stealing, and then he walked in the 4th inning. He's raised his average to 273 today. They have him shifted to the right side of the infield. And here comes the pitch from Finnegan. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. That only other score in the out-of-town scoreboard was that the Royals and the Cardinals were postponed. All the other games are still underway. A little bit surprising with all the weather being a little bit dicey on the East Coast and in the Midwest. Some of these games are going to be able to get in, and there is a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded into the shift. It's fielded neatly by the third baseman who was playing in shallow right field, Cal Franco, and he throws to first. It'll go in the books as a ground out, 5-3 for out number 1, and that is going to bring up the first baseman, Matt Olson. Olson today is 0 for 2. He's grounded to second, and he's also grounded into a double play of the 4.63 variety. That has put a little dent in his average, but he's still hitting 429 on the young season. They too are playing Olson to pull. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Olson. Reminder, we'll be back on the air tomorrow. We are looking to do the Mariners and the White Sox game. And Friday, we'll be back doing the NPB action late at night. Then on Saturday, we are probably going to take a flyer on Saturday. Not going to do anything on Saturday at all. No Major League games, no NPB games. Then on Sunday, we will be back, but we're looking to do a double dip, a couple of games. We are going to do the evening game between I believe it's the Angels and the Padres. I have to double check that one, but it's certainly the Padres will be involved. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count now goes to 0-2 on Olson. Check that 1-2 on Olson. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. It was a fine start by Josiah Gray today. He only allowed the 1 hit to Albies to begin the ball game. And he kept the bats in check for the rest of the way. Now, he still is having some, what I would call control issues. 3 walks in 5 innings would still be a concern. There's a fastball swung on. It is hit on 1 hop over to Josh Bell. He makes a great play. He picks it off and he runs over to the base, and he is able to get Olson on a ground out. So Olson is retired on a ground out to 3 for out number 2, and that's going to leave it all up to Austin Riley. The Atlanta bats definitely have been quiet today so far. Nice play by Bell for sure. So here we come back to the live action as Finnegan gets the sign from his catcher, Riley. He's ready to go to work. He kicks and he delivers. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. There is action down in the Washington bullpen as Doolittle is getting himself loose. We would anticipate probably yet another pitching change. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-1. Doolittle in the bullpen, and I believe it was A.J. Minter up and throwing for the Braves. So it is going to turn into a battle of the bullpens. We would expect to see at least 4 or 5 arms now coming forward from both of these teams. And here comes the 1-1, and it's a breaking ball swung on and lifted foul over on the first base side. The count goes to 1-2 on Riley. The game has certainly changed as they bring in the relievers at the back end. The starters, if they can get you 5 or 6 innings, and it becomes a battle of the bullpens. Sometimes there's what I would say a feel thing. I would have to say, depending on who the pitcher is, I might want to extend that guy a little bit further. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 2-2 now to Riley. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. The wind has changed a little bit. It was blowing in from right field at the beginning of the game. Now it's blowing a little bit more from left to right. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. Finnegan kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away over on the first base side, and that keeps the count at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Riley looking for his first hit of the afternoon. He walked his last time up and he struck out today. So here comes the 2-2 pitch from Finnegan. He kicks and fires. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into right center field. Moving back on it and looking up. And this one is going to carry right over the wall. An opposite field home run by Austin Riley. And he has broken the ice for the Braves as that is their first run of the ball game. That ball there, we had to watch it. He really went down and got it. Drove the ball the other way. And that ball is into the seats for a home run, a solo shot with 2 away here in the 6th. And that is run number 1 on the board for the Braves. I had to watch that. The way that it looked like he hit it, I don't know if it had enough, didn't think it had enough legs for that to leave the yard. So you've got the bullpen in right center field, and then there's where the bullpen is, then as you move to the right, there becomes a brick wall that goes up even further. He hit it over the brick wall. That is now cut the score to 3-1. Zach chimes in, says future MVP rally time. There's a fastball taken for a called strike by Marcell Ozuna. Count is 0-1. Ozuna today is 0 for 2. He's flown out and lined out both to the center fielder. So I would say Zach's on to something there. Certainly last year you had to say that he had MVP type numbers. There's a fastball swung on and Ozuna has tapped it into the dirt and fouled it off himself at the plate. The count is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Ozuna. Last year, it was a little surprising that Riley wasn't spoken about more for MVP. He certainly had put up some numbers last year, and why he wasn't given more consideration, I would have had him probably in the top 3 or 4. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count now remains at 0-2. And the hobbyist is checked in here listening to the Atlanta Braves. We welcome you, Chris. We got afternoon baseball. The 3-1 scoreline as the Braves have just got on the board with a home run by Austin Riley. We know he's no Dale Murphy, but in your eyes, There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded slowly to short. It's fielded by Escobar. He throws over to first, and that is going to do it as Marcelo Zuna goes down on a ground out, 6-3 for out number 3. But the Braves got one back. There was 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. The home run by Austin Riley has cut the lead to 3-1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with the call. The top of the 7th inning. We're glad you are with us this afternoon. Hang tight. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to be back in just a moment with the call of the top of the 7th inning. It's 3-1 for the Nationals. Hold tight. We'll be right back after this from our friend Matt.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Would you like to support Last Drafts Baseball? We would appreciate it if you did. Be sure to check out our eBay page where we have baseball merchandise. We also have stuff from the Japanese League for those who listen from Japan. But we also do other sports like football and basketball as well. Don't forget, visit Last Drafts Baseball's eBay store to help support the channel. We'll be glad you did. Welcome back, everybody. We do have an Atlanta Brave pitching change. It is going to be A.J. Minter coming into the game. The lefty is taking over for Colin McHugh, who came on in relief of Max Fried. So A.J. Minter taking over. He is a lefty, and he will be facing for the Washington Nationals. It's going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in their batting order: Riley Adams, Victor Robles, and Cesar Hernandez. So 8, 9, and 1 coming up to bat for the Nats. That is what we're looking at. So here we go. We're ready to get this one back underway as Minter takes over to face the right-handed hitting Riley Adams. The first pitch from Minter is a fastball that is swung on and fouled away over on the third base side, and the count is quickly 0-1. Certainly the starter, Manny Pina, today had some struggles, or I think he had some struggles with Max Fried. They were not always on the same page. So here comes the pitch as he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. That was the one thing that there were some cross-ups. You could see the wild pitch earlier on that ended up advancing some runners, specifically when Cesar Hernandez was advanced over to second base. Looked like he was anticipating a fastball. Instead, he got a breaking ball. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the hobbyist in the house sends his regards to Zach, who was popped in earlier, and there's a changeup swung on and missed. And Riley is retired for the second time today on strikes. He is gone for out number 1 here in the 7th. That's going to bring up the center fielder, Victor Robles. For Robles today, he is 0 for 2. He is grounded to third and grounded back to the pitcher. I will say this, that Robles has been busy in center field today. He has 5 putouts to his name, or we've got him for 5. Check that, 4 putouts. The first pitch delivered to Robles is a fastball that swung on and tapped foul at home plate. and the count is 0-1. Robles is looking for his first hit of the season. He is 0 for 2 in this one. On the season, he's now 0 for 14. And here's the pitch from Minter. It's a breaking ball that misses down. And the count is 1-1. We were supposed to, originally we were going to call the Tiger game today against the Red Sox, and now I guess as I'm looking at it, originally we jumped off of that one because of the rain. Our hobbyist says he's got to go back to work. Well, thanks for joining us, Chris. Wish you could stick around a little longer next time. There's a breaking ball that misses down to Robles, and the count's now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. As we said, with the rain in the forecast, but now are getting the messages that the Tigers are getting pounded, so maybe we're not so bad to stay here on this one, as this has been a very competitive game. There's a fastball that swung on and missed. The count now goes to 2-2 to Robles. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll get you some scoring updates again after this half inning. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball. Take it for a called third strike. Robles stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for out number 2. That is going to bring up the top of the order, Cesar Hernandez. Not sure what Robles was looking at. That pitch was on the outer half of the plate. When you're training hitters to hit, especially with 2 strikes, you really want them to cover that outside portion of the plate. So here comes the first pitch to Hernandez. It's a fastball at 97. Take it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Hernandez today has a couple of hits. He's 2 for 3, singled and scored a run back in the first inning. He's also grounded out in the ball game as well. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Robles. Minter leans in. He gets the sign from his catcher, Pina, and he's ready to go back to work. He's set at the chest, and now he steps off the mound out the backside. A little bit of a gust of wind picked up. You can see the uniform of the players. Every once in a while, it really starts blowing. Here comes the 1-1. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed. I don't know if he got a piece of that or not. The ball definitely handcuffed the catcher, Pina. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to Hernandez as Minter gets ready to go back to work. He holds at the chest and he kicks and fires. And there is a fastball swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats behind home plate on the first base side. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we said, it was a bit of a late arriving crowd. The lower deck has got some good attendance. The upper deck, or the middle level there, is a little sparse down the lines. It's good to see that the crowd was arriving late. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Hernandez has been blown away at 97 miles an hour, and that is going to do it here for the Nationals in their half of the 7th inning. A.J. Minter comes in and strikes out the side. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We're moving to the bottom of the 7th. It is the Washington Nationals 3, the Atlanta Braves 1. Stick around, everybody. This is where we are about to get into the exciting part of the ball game. Hold tight. We are glad you are with us. Here is our friend, Matt again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's another Hollis build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We are skipping to the bottom half of the seventh inning. It's going to be Eddie Rosario, Adam Duvall, and Dansby Swanson. There is going to be a pitching change for the Washington Nationals as Sean Doolittle is taking over on the bump. As he completes his warm-up tosses, we'll get this one back underway in just a minute. Doolittle is a left-handed pitcher who's coming into the game for the Nats. He's appeared in 2 games this year. He's pitched in 2 innings. He's not allowed a run nor a walk, and he has struck out 3. So Doolittle in the game, taking over here, ready to go. Big Ray says, you're going to have to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game for the 7th inning stretch. I don't see that happening anytime soon, Ray. I think if we had about 60 people in here, it would probably go down to about 3, just like that. And that would be because the 3 people would not be near their computers to turn it off. So we don't want to scare the audience away. So that is going to bring up Eddie Rosario, Duvall, and Swanson here in the 7th inning. They're down to their final 9 outs are the Braves. They're down by 2 runs. So he said this is where the game is going to start to get exciting. It's a test for the Nationals bullpen to see if they can hold the Braves here, as the Braves did get one back on the Austin Riley home run in the 6th inning. So stepping up to the plate is Rosario, left-hander versus the left-hander. The matchup here, Rosario is 0 for 2 today. He has struck out and flown out to center. And the first pitch from Doolittle is a fastball that is swung on and again lifted into center field. Camping out underneath it is Victor Robles. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to retire Rosario for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Adam Duvall. For Duvall today, he is 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch his last time up, and he struck out back in the 2nd inning. So officially 0 for 1. His average has slipped down to 250 on the season now. So some of these Braves hitters are yet to get it going. Certainly the likes of Ozuna and Olsen and Riley have got it going here early on. Zach says the Braves are a late inning team, so stay tuned. Certainly once you get into the back end of the bullpens of these teams that are what I would call, and this is not out of disrespect to the Nationals, not pennant contenders. You're definitely not going to be a pennant contender this year, in my opinion. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. The bullpens get to be a little bit dicey. So we're going to find out what the Nationals bullpen is made of. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. Of course, Sean Doolittle has had some solid years of major league service. I remember him more with the Oakland Athletics than I do anywhere else. So Doolittle gets the assign from his catcher Adams, and he's ready to come back to work. And the kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed, and now that makes the count 1-2. The shadows are coming back into play here again. It was partly cloudy when the game started. It was more cloud than sun, and now it is started to open up, and then we had more sun than cloud, but now it looks like the sun is behind the clouds again. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yesterday, the game we called between the Guardians and the Reds, the Shadows were playing havoc in the 8th and 9th innings. There's a fastball delivered, and that is taken for a called 3rd strike. Duvall stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for out number 2. And that is going to bring up the shortstop, Dansby Swanson. Big Ray says he heard Kershaw is throwing a perfect game through 5 with 9 strikeouts. After you take a quick peek over there, it is definitely, that is correct. It is a perfect game through 5. I don't know the strikeouts as of yet They are playing that game in Minnesota. Or as one of our friends to the channel, Big D, says, Minnesota. So we have to make sure we get that straight. So here comes the pitch to Swanson. It is a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to short. It's fielded neatly by Escobar over to first. It's going to be a ground out, 6-3 to retire Swanson for the third out of the inning. So that's how it's going to end here in the seventh. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 7 complete innings. It is the Washington Nationals 3, the Atlanta Braves 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the 8th in just a moment. And hopefully you guys can stick it out here with us. We're glad you're here. For those of you who tune in late night and get to see our Japanese memories, we do a Hall of Fame memory series. We're going to run one right now. This is our Japanese Hall of Fame memorabilia series. Take a look at this. Some of the artifacts from our time in Tokyo. Check it out. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top half of the 8th inning. It's going to be Juan Soto, Nelson Cruz, and Josh Bell. That is who we are going to see here in the top half of the 8th inning. So we're going to check in on this. We got Manny Pina, who has been behind the plate today. And as we said, he's been working with the pitchers. It's not been a comfortable day for Pina. But he is going to be now catching Tyler Matzik. He's definitely had some cross-ups with his pitchers. We saw that early on with Max Fried, and we also saw he wasn't very comfortable working with E.J. Minter, although Minter did strike out the side in the last inning. So we've got Tyler Matzik now on the hill. He's taking over. He had a very solid season last year, the big lefty did, after coming over from the Colorado Rocky organization. He had a lot of injuries that had sort of derailed his career. And the first pitch delivered is a ball down. Matzik has only appeared in one game this year. He's pitched in one inning. He's not allowed a walk or a strikeout, or had a strikeout. He's got an ERA of 0. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that catches the knees for a called strike. And the count now is 1 ball and 1 strike to Juan Soto. Soto, Cruz, and Bell are the hitters here in the 8th inning to face Matzik. So here we go, ready to go back to work, and he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that catches the inside corner for a called strike. The count is now 1-2. Juan Soto was definitely not happy about that pitch, as he walks away from the plate and does a little bit of a tour and spits out a couple of his seeds. So Soto digs himself back in after he does the tour of the dirt circle. Now he's ready for the 1-2 offering, and it is a fastball that misses inside, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Curious to see how Kershaw's doing over there, and also where he's at in terms of them leaving him in the ball game. Early in the season, a lot of these pitchers haven't been stretched out. Sean Manaea could experience that in San Diego. There's a breaking ball that misses down. Count is 3-0. I believe it was had a no-hitter through 7 innings, and they took him out of the ball game, and the next thing you know, there goes the no-hitter. They hadn't stretched him out yet to their confidence, or at least at this point in the season where they could let him rip. So here comes the 3-2 pitch to Soto. Matzik gets the sign from his catcher, Pina. He's ready to deliver. He kicks and he fires. It is a fastball swung on. It is popped up on the infield over to the left side. Coming in on it is Swanson. He's going to make the catch. That is going to retire Soto for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. That's going to bring up Nelson Cruz. For Nelly Cruz today, he's off to a rough start. He's 0 for 3. He struck out in the first. He grounded to short in the third, and he bounced back to the pitcher. I shouldn't say bounced back. He lined it off the pitcher in the 6th inning. That eventually knocked out Max Fried out of the ballgame. One would have to think that Fried probably won't miss any time. So here comes the pitch from Matzik. It's a fastball swung on and fouled straight back, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Cruz. So no balls and 1 strike. Matzik again ready to go back to work. He delivers a breaking ball. Misses down, but the home plate umpire says that Nelson Cruz went around. That's going to make the count at no balls and 2 strikes. From our angle, I wasn't quite sure about that one, but the home plate umpire, DJ Rayburn, very confident in his decision. So no balls and 2 strikes to Nelly Cruz. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. That's going to make the count no balls and 2 strikes. So Matzik getting his sign from his catcher. He's ready to go back to work. He's put in a tough situation here to face probably the best hitters in the Washington batting order. And there's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Keeps the count at 0-2. Sometimes you look at pitchers and you look at their numbers. The numbers can often be deceiving depending upon the pressure situations or the situations they get into. And Matzik here, not like he's in what we would call a real pressure situation, but he's in a situation where he's got the top hitters of the batting order. And Nelson Cruz has asked for time as there's been a gust of wind that has come across the infield. You can see sometimes that the wind will pick up, the uniforms really start to blow. So now we're reset and are ready to get back to work here. And here's the pitch from Matzik as his fastball swung on. It's grounded to short. Albies fields it. He fires across the diamond to first, and that is going to retire Cruz for the second out of the inning. It goes as a ground out, 6-3. That's going to leave it all up to the cleanup hitter, Josh Bell. So Bell was going to step up to the plate. He is 2 for 3 today. He's had a very productive afternoon. He's got a single, a double, and he's also driven in a run. He's raised his average up to 360 on the early going. He stands in on the right side waiting for the first offering from Matzik. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Bell is a switch hitter who's now batting right-handed here. Of course, he did that against Max Fried in the 3 times that he faced him. They have gone to the bullpen now using the 4th pitcher of the game, Matzik. Only the right-hander Colin McHugh came in so far. There was a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 1-1. So the Nationals are going to have some clutch pitching here late in the ball game if they want to close out this one against the Braves. As our friend Zach in the chat says, the Braves are a late inning team, and there's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count now runs to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down. And the count now goes to 2-2 to Bell. So Matzik ready to go back to work again. He kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. That's going to keep the count at 2-2 strikes. Matzik gets the sign from his catcher, Pina, and he's ready to go back to work. Bell stands in, he kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on. It's tapped slowly to Swanson. He has to field it on the run. He throws to first, and that is going to do it. Matzik gets a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 8th for the Nationals. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 8th. We'll be back in about 30 seconds. We're going to take a look again at that out-of-town scoreboard and see what's happening elsewhere around Major League Baseball. We're thanking everybody here for sticking in with us. Stay tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to take a quick peek at this out-of-town scoreboard across Major League Baseball. Lots of games this afternoon. We were anticipating that there would be some rain in places, but the only game that has actually been washed out was the game in St. Louis. That game was between the Royals and the Cardinals. That game has been postponed. In the end of the 4th inning, the Red Sox have a 7-1 lead over the Detroit Tigers. It is in the Motor City. The game in Cincinnati, the Guardians are now leading the Reds 6-0. You have 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Do the Guardians. The Reds are 0-3-0. Guardians offense is still rolling. The player that I'm interested there to take a look at is Stephen Kwan, the rookie who's off to a massive start. In that ball game there, he is 0-for-3 today, but he has driven in a run and drawn a walk. So his consecutive on-base streak continues. He's been absolutely on fire. Other games around the league, the Pirates are leading the Cubs 6-2 in the bottom of the 7th inning. And at the end of 4, it is the Mets leading the Phillies in Philadelphia 3-1. The Dodgers are leading the Twins 3-0. It's in the top of the 7th. Clayton Kershaw still has a perfect game intact. And so we're ready to resume the action here. Although I have to say, I'm not sure what's going to happen as Sean Doolittle has come in to warm up in the bottom of the 8th inning. Can't even get through the warm-up tosses. They took a look at him. The trainer was out. It looks like his day is going to be done. So we are going to have a little more delay in the action here. It is going to be a little bit extra time needed as they're going to have to get another pitcher warmed up as Doolittle's day looks like it is going to be over. By the looks of it, it may be a blister issue or something to do with his fingernail. But it looks like his day is going to be done, and they're going to bring in Steve Cishak into pitch. So stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Pitching change for the Nats. We'll be back in just a couple moments.
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. zone. I said that's life. And as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on my team. But I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game. And if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Welcome back, everybody. Steve Cishek is now on the hill, and he's taking over. He's going to face Guillermo Heredia. And the first pitch to the pinch hitter Heredia is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Steve Cishek wastes no time, and he goes back into the delivery, and he throws a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and the count is 0-2. Cishek, for those of you who don't know, he is a sidewinder. He throws from the right side. He is sometimes even, you can even say he's so low, he's almost a submariner, and there's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Heredia is gone quickly on 3 strikes. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Manny Pina. For Manny Pina today, he is officially 0 for 2. He has flown to left and struck out his last time up. He steps in at the plate, ready to face the side-winding Cishek. For Steve Cishek, he's been with a number of teams his big league career. I find it fascinating with how everybody wants him, and then they can't wait to get rid of him once they've got him. He's been with the Seattle Mariners. He's been with a number of teams. He's been with the Cubs. He's been with the Marlins. So he's been around a long time. He broke into the big leagues in 2010. And there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to short. It's fielded neatly by Escobar over to first. And that is going to erase Pina on a ground out 6-3 for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 away. He's not a young fella. Is Cishek. He's going to be 36 years old in June. He is on the bump. They do have action in the Washington bullpen as Rainey is up and throwing. So one would expect that he is going to be in for the 9th inning. As we mentioned, he began his career, did Cishek, with the Florida organization. There's a ground ball swung on by Albies. He swings at it. He rolls it over to the second baseman, who makes the play easily. That's Hernandez. He throws to first, and that's going to do it. It's a ground out 4-3 for 3 outs. So there was only, in the inning, 6 pitches by Cishek. He's easily got the side 1, 2, 3. That is going to leave it all up for the bottom of the 9th for the Atlanta Braves to have to make their comeback. But we're now through 8 innings. There were no runs, no hits, no errors in the 8th. We are now moving to the top of the 9th inning. It'll be the Washington Nationals coming to bat with a 3-1 lead. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the last inning in just a moment. I hope you guys can hold it out here with us. Here again is our friend Steve.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day, and there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddy.
Appreciate you there, Steve. We're moving to the top of the 9th inning, and it is still a perfect game for Clayton Kershaw over in Minnesota as they are moving to the bottom of the 7th inning. He is perfect through 6. And this one here, we are moving to the top of the 9th inning. It is Franco, Thomas, and Escobar. And so this is going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters coming up in the Nationals order. Nationals have a 3-1 lead. At the end of the game, we'll do a recap of this one, and we'll also go through the out-of-town scoreboard, but we are definitely keeping an eye on that Clayton Kershaw deal in Minnesota, courtesy of Big Ray. And now into pitch for the Atlanta Braves, it is going to be Kenley Jansen. Jansen is coming in to take over. We saw him get roughed up a little bit by the Reds the other night. He was able to hang on for the victory, but it was definitely not an easy situation for him. So he is coming on in relief. He needs to get some work. He allowed 3 runs. He walked 1, and he got 1 strikeout in his first outing. Obviously, he is not in mid-season form yet. So Jansen on in relief. First game, it was 1 inning, 3 runs, all of which were earned. He had walked 1 and struck out 1. It was a pretty rocky inning for Jansen. So here he goes, ready to go back to work. As he's completed his tosses, and the first pitch is a fastball that comes inside to Maikel Franco for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Once again, we'll be back on the air again tomorrow with the White Sox and the Mariners. We're really excited to see J-Rod go tomorrow with the Mariners. Of course, you got Luis Robert and the gang over in White Sox land. So that should be a formidable test for the Mariners. There's a fastball taken for a call and strike. Count is 1-1. The pitching matchup is not one of the ones that we would say has a great appeal. Logan Gilbert, although we are interested in him, the young arm for the Mariners against Lambert for the White Sox. White Sox have had some injuries on their starting staff that they're going to have to sort out. And there is a changeup that swung on, and this is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats over on the third base side. The count is going to go to 1-2 on Franco. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Nationals are here batting in the top of the 9th, and then the Braves will come down to their last at bats. Got 1 more shot to try to catch up here to the Nationals in their half of the 9th inning. So Franco digs in. He's waiting on the delivery from the right-hander Jansen. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Jansen kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into straightaway center field. Coming in on it is the center fielder Duvall. He's going to make the grab. And that is going to retire Franco for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up Lane Thomas. For Lane Thomas today, the scheduled hitter, he is officially 0 for 2. He has popped to second. He's grounded over to the back to the pitcher, but he hit a sac fly, knocking in the 3rd run back in the 6th inning. Former St. Louis Cardinals getting an opportunity to play every day here to start the season. He's going to need to get things going to take advantage of it. And there's a breaking ball that's down in the dirt, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Thomas. Thomas has struggled out of the gate this season. His average is at 167. As we mentioned, he needs to get off to a decent start here to cement that position out there, or you can pretty much anticipate that Washington is going to start looking at some other players. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Of course, Lane Thomas was originally a 5th-round pick of the Blue Jays back in the 2014 draft. He was traded by the Blue Jays to the Cardinals for an international bonus slot money, and there's fastball swung on and fouled away, and that is going to make the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. But he was traded to the Cardinals by the Nationals straight up for John Lester last year at the trade deadline. So as we said, it really created, they had a logjam in St. Louis in the outfield. He wasn't getting a chance to play every day there. He came across to Washington last season. He was fairly productive. He hit 7 homers, drove in 27 runs in 178 at bats. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count runs to 2-2. He also, by getting a chance to play every day, hit 270. So the Nationals are hoping for that type of production for him this year. Chance to play every day. So, but and that being said, I always wonder how long it's going to take for a run out here. Is he going to get a good solid 6 weeks to show what he can do, or are they going to be trigger happy with Dave Martinez? So we'll wait and see. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right center field. Coming in on it is Eddie Rosario. He's going to make the grab, and that is going to do it for Thomas. He is retired for out number 2. That is going to leave it up to Alcides Escobar. For Escobar today, he is officially 0 for 3. He's grounded to short, he's popped to second, and he's struck out in his 3 trips to the plate. So Escobar strides to the dish. Escobar, another one that's struggling a little bit right now. His average has slipped to 0.56. He's looking to start to get things going here, and there's a first pitch breaking ball swung on and fouled away. And the count is 0-1. As we said, we're still keeping an eye on that game that's going on in between the Dodgers and the Twins. It is a perfect game through 7 innings for Clayton Kershaw. As we said, it'll be interesting to see if they keep him in the ball game, and there is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-1, or if Dave Roberts' computer has already decided to make that change. Some ways you hate to see that. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And here comes the pitch to Escobar. It's a fastball that gets in on the fists of Escobar, and he fouls that one away. Kershaw has 13 strikeouts through 7 innings. So he is on fire. He's thrown 80 pitches, 53 of them for strikes. As we look at that one there, it's a tough start for Chris Paddock, who in his own right did fairly well today. He is out of the ball game now. So here comes the 1-2 pitch, and it is a cutter that is swung on and missed. Escobar goes down on strikes. That's going to do it for the Nationals here in the 9th. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We're going to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Atlanta Braves are trailing the Washington Nationals 3-1. Stick around, everybody. It is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the Braves batting order coming up. We think that there may be a pitching change on the way for the Nats. But the way that Steve Cishek delivered that last inning, we'll wait and see from there. Hold tight. We'll be right back in just a moment after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Once again, that's Matt Hollis. We appreciate your support of our channel, and in turn, we like to support Matt. We are moving here to the bottom of the 9th inning. It's going to be Matt Olson, Austin Riley, and Marcell Ozuna to get things going. We are keeping our eyeballs on that other ball game in Minnesota with the perfect game by Clayton Kershaw so far. So it is 7 perfect innings by Kershaw, only 80 pitches. That is where it stands. So there is a change. The Nationals are going to the bullpen. Wondered if it would maybe keep Shaq around, as he had only had 6 pitches in the 8th inning. But that is not the case. They're bringing Tanner Rainey into the game. Rainey, of course, is a 29-year-old. He's from Folsom, Louisiana. He was originally a second-round pick of the Cincinnati Reds. Played his college ball at University of West Alabama. He's going to be in to close this one out. This is his 4th season in a Washington uniform. He's appeared in 2 games this year. He has 2 innings, 2 hits, and 2 strikeouts this year. He has 1 save to his credit. He is going to be entrusted to try to close this one out. He's got a very tough part of the batting order. It is going to be Matt Olson, Austin Riley, and Marcell Ozuna. It doesn't get any tougher than that. So the worst thing he could do is put a runner on base, and the first pitch is a changeup swung on and missed. The count is 0-1 to Olson. Olson today is 0 for 3. He's grounded to second, grounded into a double play. He's also grounded to first. Everything for him has been on the pull side as they are in the shift again. There's a fastball taken at the knees at 96 miles an hour, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. The ball game here, it's all down to the last inning. Rainey kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at no balls and 2 strikes. And here we are back to the action. Here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball, swung on and fouled away. That keeps the count at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Rainey, in some ways, he's kind of a stocky guy. I almost want he body type wise, it's almost like a Brad Hand kind of thing, but there's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and Olson is retired for the first out of the inning. And the Braves have 2 outs left to try to get back in this game. They're going to be running out of time, or will have run out of time. So Olson is retired for the first out. That's going to bring up Austin Riley. Riley today is officially 1 for 2. He homered his last time up. He's accounted for the only Atlanta run. He's also walked and struck out. So here comes the first pitch from Rainey. It's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. The last pitch that Riley saw, not the one in this at bat, but the one that he homered off of, very impressive. The pitch was down and away. He was able to golf it out over the fence in right center field. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count now is 1 ball and 1 strike. That pitch off of Finnegan was well out over the, it was off of the plate almost, and he just golfed it opposite field, which you have to say showed a lot of power going the other way. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Big Ray is already applying his kiss of death by saying that the Beast might like this one. There's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count is 3-1. Remember, it's never over till it's over, and then when it's over, it's over. But this is a very dangerous part of the lineup. You do not want to put a runner on base for Marcell Ozuna, who is looming in the on-deck circle. So here comes the 3-1 pitch. And there is a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count now goes to 3-2. That last pitch was at 95 miles an hour. If Rainey is confident in his changeup, I'd be looking to throw it right here and now. See if you can get Austin Riley out ahead of the pitch. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. He holds set at the belt. He kicks and he fires. It is a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded to short. There's some confusion on the left side of the infield. Alcides Escobar ranging to his left. He kind of pulls up as they're in the shift. The second baseman, Hernandez, dives to get the ball. But that's a ball that if he doesn't hold up, I'm not saying he's going to make the play, but Alcides Escobar has to make that play. Grounder to the left side, and he just kind of slows up and lets that ball get through as it's stopped by Hernandez. Hernandez's momentum was taking him into left center field. And that right there is another reason why I'm not a big fan of the shift. The players are not playing in their traditional positions, or at least in the areas of the field. Now we got a communication issue, and that's a base hit single. And now the tying run is stepping up to the plate. That is going to bring up Marcell Ozuna. Ozuna today is 0 for 3. He's flown out to center field twice, and he's grounded to short. So here we go. Here comes the pitch from Rainey, and it is a fastball that misses down. The count is 1-0. There's a lot of juice in the lineup here for the Braves. They could put the ball into the seats on one swing of the bat. We've got a brand new ball game. So here comes the 1-0 pitch. Rainey kicks and fires. It's a fastball that misses off the outside corner. Counts now 2-0 to Ozuna. Certainly, if somebody can walk it off, Eddie Rosario's got the ability to do it as he waits on deck. So 2 balls and no strikes to the batter Ozuna. Rainey holds at the belt. He kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball that swung on and missed. Ozuna wanted to put that one into the seats. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Just an update on that Dodger game. The Dodgers have gone to the bullpen with a perfect game for Clayton Kershaw. They are going to be making a change as Alex Vesia has come in the game. Unreal. There is a fastball that misses down and away. The count now goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Rainey gets his sign from his catcher, and he's ready to deliver to Ozuna. You know he's going to get a good pitch here, and there's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. That makes the count now 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. We've got a 3-1 ball game here in the bottom of the 9th inning. The runner at first is Riley. The batter at the plate is Ozuna. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Rainey delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to Hernandez. He steps on the bag at second over to first. And that is going to do it. It is going to be a double play as Rainey is able to get himself out of a bit of a pickle. That's going to go down as a 4-3 double play to end the ball game. And so for the Atlanta Braves and their half of the ninth, there was no runs, there was 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. Your final score is the Washington Nationals 3, the Atlanta Braves 1. Stick around, everybody. We're going to do a little recap here. Give you the out-of-town scoreboard. We're going to call this one a ball game. We appreciate you all for stopping in today. Hang tight. We'll be back in just a moment.
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life, and as funny as it may seem, Some people get their kicks stomping on my team, but I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game, and if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Rap Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to wrap this one up. So we're first going to take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard and give you all the action from around Major League Baseball. This one, of course, was our final here, but we are going to give you all the scores from around the big leagues. First of all, we'll begin in Detroit. The Tigers were playing the Boston Red Sox today. It is a 7-2 ball game. It's in the bottom of the sixth inning. The Tigers are trailing the Red Sox. 2 solo shots for the Tigers have accounted for their runs by Scope and Badu. It's in the bottom of the sixth. The Guardians are beating the Reds 6-1. It is the debut of Nicholas Lodolo for Cincinnati. Doesn't look like it's gone to plan. The Pittsburgh Pirates are leading the Chicago Cubs 6-2. That's in the top of the ninth inning. At the end of 5, the Mets have a 4-1 lead over the Phillies. It's a classic matchup of Scherzer versus Nola. In the bottom of the 8th inning, and it is a 6-0 ball game for the Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw was perfect through 7. He got pulled in the 8th inning, and the Dodgers have given up a hit. And that is where they stand there. The final score here is the Washington Nationals 3, the Atlanta Braves 1. It's the only final in Major League Baseball. Cesar Hernandez got the game going in the first inning with a single. Juan Soto followed with a single. Josh Bell knocked in Hernandez with a ground out RBI, and then Maikel Franco picked up an RBI single to knock in Juan Soto, and that's how the scoring got started. It was 2-0. In the top of the 6th inning, the Nationals padded their lead. A one-out single by Bell. He was advanced to third by a single by Miguel Franco. And he was driven home on a sacrifice fly by Lane Thomas, and that increased the score to 3-0. The only offense of the Braves came in the bottom of the 6th when Austin Riley hit a solo shot to the opposite field. That was it in the ballgame. That is how this one ends. The win today goes to Josiah Gray. He evens his record to 1-1. Max Fried takes the loss. He goes to 0-2. And Tanner Rainey, it's his second save of the season. And that is your final score. Once again, a couple of reminders, everybody. We'll be back on the airwaves tomorrow. We are going to be doing the White Sox and the Mariners, barring any rain. So we appreciate you guys again for checking us out. Zach, Steve, Big Ray, everybody else, hobbyists who joined us in the room. Steve Rademacher, we appreciate you all for being here. Big Ray says, boo Pirates, just when I think the Cubs are going to have an easy win, they let the lowly Pirates beat them, and that is for sure. All right, everybody, once again, you'll listen to another Last Rounds Baseball video production. We hope you have a great day. Come on back and see us again tomorrow. We're going to check out J-Rod, Luis Robert, and all the other players in that game tomorrow. We're looking forward to it. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks again for spending your time with us. We're glad we could give you the play-by-play.